Friday night hockey at Gas South Arena is presented by Freddy's as the Atlanta Gladiators host the Orlando Solar Bears in the middle game of a 3-game set in Duluth this weekend and the first night of Hockey Heritage Weekend. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau later on in the broadcast. The Gladiators will transform into the Atlanta Knights here tonight as it is Knights Night here at Gas South Arena, honoring the IHL's Atlanta Knights from back in the day. The 1994 Turner Cup champions are back for one night and one night only. The Gladiators will be wearing specialty jerseys as the Knights here today, and from here on forth, we will refer to them as such. Andrew, the Gladiators, I should say the Knights, off to a great start there. The Knights hosting the Solar Bears, and it's going to be a bit of a nostalgic night for some, but for this team, they're going to look to make it 4 wins in a row, coming off of a big win against these Solar Bears last night.
Yeah, huge win for the Gladiators last night. Brings them back in, tied with South Carolina in the standings for second in the South Division with a game in hand. Just a really good team win by the Gladiators last night. Felt like they controlled a lot of the play last night. Look to see more from them here tonight.
The Gladiators have added a new forward into the lineup. We have a Gladiator making his pro debut here tonight. Adam Isley signs with the Gladiators out of Ohio State University this morning. He will make his debut tonight. Isley with Ohio State this season had 13 goals for 7 assists for 20 points in 36 games. I'm excited to see what he can do, Andrew, not just because of what he's done on the scoring side of things with Ohio State this season, but because of his stature as well. 6'2", 208. I'm really excited to see him play.
Yeah, big body sliding in on that second line with Alex Young and Cody Sylvester, 2 guys who have a lot of chemistry. Hopefully they can bring Isley in with them, and those 3 can get clicking here tonight. Really excited to see him get going at 13 goals at Ohio State this season, so look for him to have a little bit of an offensive spark for that line. Really excited to see him get going tonight.
So Atlanta's coming off of its 40th win of the season, now up to 40, 19, 2-1 on the campaign. They have locked up a playoff spot ever since Sunday, and now with that win last night, they are now tied for second place in the division with the South Carolina Stingrays with 83 points. Meanwhile, Orlando on the outside looking in, very likely that their season is going to end in a few weeks. 24-34, 4-1 the record with 53 points. But Andrew, all eyes are on Atlanta and that second seed in the division. They do have a game in hand on South Carolina, who is playing Idaho tonight. Makes another very important game here for Atlanta.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last night. You really want the Gladiators to get that home ice advantage in the first round, I should say. Just with how good this team has been at home all season, you want to play the majority of those games in the first round on home ice.
Atlanta this season is 22-7-0-1 at home this year. For the Solar Bears, they are 13-15-2-1 on the road. Special teams was once again proving to be big for the Gladiators last night, Andrew. They went 1 for 4 on the power play and 3 for 3 on the penalty kill.
Yeah, touched on it a little bit last night. 3 for 6 on the power play on Sunday. Came into the game last night 1 for 4, so 4 out of 10 on their last 10 power plays over these last 2 games. So looks like this time of the year, the power play is starting to get clicking a little bit, which is really important for this team going into a playoff run. You need your special teams to be dialed in when it comes to April.
And the Gladiators now dressing 12 forwards, 6 defensemen once again, with Isley joining the team. I'm excited to see what he can do, but this Gladiators bottom 6 has looked really good over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they've been great all season, this Gladiators bottom 6. Tonight, sliding in, we got that third line of Mickey Burns, Joey Cipollone, and Ryan Francis. Joey Cipollone moves down from that second line with the addition of Isley. Really looking to see that line get going. And then on that fourth line, you got Irie, Denemy, and Scardina. Really liked what I saw from Kirkland Irie in his debut last night. Looking for more of the same from him. I thought he looked really good on the forecheck, was getting pucks in deep, was making smart decisions with the puck, which is really good to see from a young player making his pro debut last night. Look to see him build on that tonight.
And it's not just the bottom 6 that is stepping up as well. The Stars are starting to shine bright again. Isaac Walter back on the stat sheet. He's got goals in back-to-back games. Scored the power play goal last night. You've liked his game as of late. Tell me why.
Yeah, what a one-timer by him last night. It was a great pass from Alex Young, finding Walter, who made no mistake with that one-timer, found himself in the right spot. But for Isaac Walter, it's just about him using his size and speed. He's got a really good combination of size and speed. He's a really big winger, and he can move his legs. He'll show you. So I'm really looking forward to see him get going here tonight. And I really like that first line of him, O'Brien, and McNamee. That line seems to be really picking it up these last few couple of games. The more they play with each other, it seems like that chemistry's growing a little bit between those three guys. Really loved what I saw from them last night. Really excited to see them get out there tonight.
And on that Walter power play goal, Chad Nychuk factoring in like he always does with an assist, picked up his 42nd assist of the season. That set a new single-season franchise record for most assists by a Gladiators defenseman in a single campaign. What a year he has had.
Yeah, you can't say enough good things about Chad Nychuk and what he does for this Gladiators team. He's great in his own zone, but moving the puck is where he really excels. It feels like he's always making that first pass out of the zone. He's connecting tape to tape. In the Gladiators offense, it all starts with Nychuk on the back end. He's a great distributor of the puck.
And in net tonight for the Gladiators, or I should say the Knights. It's going to take some getting used to on that front. In net for Atlanta here today is TJ Septemfelter. Saw Ethan Heider last night. Didn't really have a whole lot to do. Orlando only held to 18 shots last night. But the Gladiators have the best goaltending tandem in the league, in my opinion, between Septemfelter and Heider. And Septemfelter has been on a roll as of late.
Yeah, I feel like we can kind of stamp that the Gladiators do have the best goaltending tandem in the league. We've said it all season long. Whether you got Heider or Septemfelter, you got a great chance either night. There's no dip between those two guys. It's really a 1A, 1B situation between those two guys. You're going to get their A game every night, and every night, either one of those guys is going to give you a chance to win.
And the final shot count last night ended up being 32 for Atlanta and 18 for Orlando. And the Solar Bears are a team that are now the worst scoring team in the league, only averaging 2.5 goals for per game. And not much better when it comes to taking shots. They're dead last in that department as well. 30th in the league, 26.92 shots for per game for Orlando. And it showed last night. The Gladiators really dominated from the start.
Yeah, they really didn't give them anything to work with last night, the Gladiators did. They kept all the opportunities to the outside. They were doing a really good job of denying the Solar Bears zone entries, just not even allowing them to get anything going in the offensive zone. It was just really just a statement win for the Gladiators. It was just accumulation of all the great things that they've done this season, and I'm excited to see them do it again tonight.
And we will get to see it here at Gas South Arena for Knights Night on the first game of Hockey Heritage Weekend. Gladiators will transform into the Knights. They'll be wearing these specialty jerseys, white jersey, black numbers, baby blue trim, and with that good old Knights crest on the front. Gas South, it's not the Omni, but we're going to make it as close as possible here tonight as we honor the 1994 Turner Cup champions. Coming up next here on the pregame show are the keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda. We will also get to our starting lineups here today between Atlanta and Orlando. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this from the ECHL.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
And let's meet tonight. Starting lineup for the visiting Orlando Solar Bears.
Welcome to Duluth, Georgia, to Gas South Arena, home of the Atlanta Gladiators for Friday night hockey presented by Freddy's as they host the Orlando Solar Bears on the first night of Hockey Heritage Weekend. It is Knights Night here in Duluth. The Atlanta Gladiators will transform into the Atlanta Knights from way back in the day in the IAHL for one night and one night only, wearing specialty jerseys with the Atlanta Knights crest on the front and a patch honoring the 1994 Turner Cup champions. The Atlanta Gladiators will honor Atlanta's rich hockey history here on night number one at Gas South Arena. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming here on the broadcast with you tonight. Hope you enjoy this one as the Gladiators transform into the Knights and look to make it 4 wins in a row and take the second seed in the division. All right, let's get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda with our head coach, Matt Ginn. Key number 1 is to dictate the game, and boy, did the Gladiators do a good job of that last night. It was a 3-1 win over the Solar Bears in this building to improve their record to 40-19-2-1 on the campaign. And really from the drop of the puck, the Gladiators spent a lot of time in the Orlando zone, outshot them 32-18. They really did dictate the game last night, but look to do it again here today. Second key is energy and compete. And again, the Gladiators really did bring that for much of yesterday's game. And you don't have 40 wins on the campaign if you don't do that pretty consistently and very often. So the Gladiators look to keep the status quo and bring that energy and compete here on Knights Night. And finally, the third key, short but simple, is to just manage the puck. Winning teams do just that, and the Gladiators do have 40 wins on the campaign and have already punched their ticket to the postseason. Manage the puck is the final key as the Gladiators look to make it 4 wins in a row here against the Solar Bears. Those are your keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda with head coach Matt Ginn. Now let's turn our attention to the starting lineups here tonight as we will begin with the Solar Bears. Starting at left wing is number 91, Aaron Lucha. The Solar Bears' all-time leader in goals, assists, and points, has 20 goals and 28 assists for 48 points in 63 games this season. His starting center is number 81, Anthony Bardaro, who has 16 goals and 18 assists for 34 points in 59 games. And starting at right wing is number 57, Jared Lukasavages, with 6 goals and 20 assists for 26 points in 53 games. At left defense, it's number 6, Logan Britt, with 2 goals and 17 assists for 19 points in 59 games. Paired up with number 27, Dylan Gill, the prospect of the Tampa Bay Lightning, with 2 goals and 11 assists for 13 points in 57 games. And starting in net for Orlando is number 35, Harrison Mennigan. He played 13 games this season with a 4-8 record, 3.29 goals against average, and an .888 save percentage. Mennigan is under contract with Orlando's NHL affiliate, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Their AHL affiliate is the Syracuse Crunch, but currently as it stands, there are no players in the Solar Bears lineup that are currently under contract with Syracuse. The Solar Bears are led by head coach and general manager Matt McDonald. Assistant coach is Adam Dada. And let's turn our attention to the starting lineup for your Atlanta Knights. At left wing, it's number 7, Mickey Burns, standing at 5'9", 170, native of Wayne, New Jersey, has 6 goals and 7 assists for 13 points in 62 games. His starting center is number 71, Joey Cipollone, standing 5'11", 192, native of Purchase, New York, has 15 goals and 16 assists for 31 points in 62 games. At right wing is number 86, Ryan Francis, with 6 goals and 22 assists for 28 points in 62 games. Hitting the ice at left defense is number 8, Ryan Conroy, with 4 goals and 9 assists for 13 points in 58 games. And at right at defense, it is number 2, Brendan Less, standing at 6'1", 181, with 3 goals and 11 assists for 14 points in 47 games. I'll round out the starting 5 skaters for the Knights as they make their way out of the tunnel wearing their white jerseys with black numbers and Atlanta Knight blue trim with the crest on the front. And starting in net for Atlanta today is the rookie phenom, number 35, TJ Semptenfelter, standing at 6'1", 190, native of Marlton, New Jersey, has a record of 19-9-1-1, 2.16 goals against average, .922 save percentage, and 1 shutout in 30 games this year. He is under contract with Atlanta's AHL affiliate, the Milwaukee Admirals. Our proud NHL affiliate is the Nashville Predators. Atlanta is led by head coach and director of hockey operations Matt Ginn. Assistant coach is Zach Fennell. Equipment manager is Ben Ellis. Athletic trainers Nick Nelson. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. We will be joined by Shelby Rabideau tonight as well, as that is the starting lineup for your Atlanta Knights. It will be a four-man officiating crew here tonight between these two. Referees are James Kraft wearing number 50 and Nolan Bloyer wearing number 31. Linesmen are Quinn Schaefer wearing number 49 and Sean Delawy wearing number 95. And with that, that will conclude the pregame show here from Gas South Arena. Coming up next is God Bless America and the National Anthem here in Duluth.
Thank you, Taylor Road Middle School Chorus and Pack 1050. And now, please remain standing with hands over hearts as we honor America and all the brave men and women who served our country with the singing of the national anthem performed by Jake Bragg Elementary School Chorus.
We are all set and ready to go from Gas South Arena, home of the Atlanta Gladiators. They host the Orlando Solar Bears on Knights Night for the first night of Hockey Heritage Weekend. The Gladiators will be put aside for one night and will be known as the Atlanta Knights here today, wearing specialty jerseys with a white base, black numbers, and baby blue trim, and that good old Atlanta Knights crest on the front. Solar Bears wearing black jerseys with white numbers and purple trim will skate from left to right, with the Knights skating from right to left to begin. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. We'll be joined by Shelby Rabideau as well. Thank you to everyone tuning in on Peachtree Sports Network, Flow Hockey, and YouTube. Sure to be a good battle here today between two South Division foes. Gladiators this season are 4-1 against the Solar Bears. We'll see how the Knights fare here tonight in the middle game of a 3-game set for Atlanta. Four-man officiating crew. Referees are James Kraft wearing number 50, with Nolan Bloyer wearing number 31, linesman Quinn Schaefer wearing number 49, and Sean Deloe wearing number 95. Fans, you can make your pick as to who you think is going to score and factor in on the first goal for the Knights with the assist. And on over to our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, X, and of course in our YouTube live stream to cast your vote. First goal, first assist, brought to you by Pinnacle Promotions and Hancock Whitney Bank, respectively. Joey Cipollone will meet Anthony Bardero at center circle to get things started here today. Puck is dropped. The Knights are back, and they have won the opening draw. Off the stick of Burns and in deep, Mennigan comes out to retrieve it in the trapezoid. Heaves it to the near side. Burns pinching, trying to keep the play in. Forces it to the far corner and up the wall where Luchuk spits it out to center. Lucas Savages tried to send Bardero into action. Knights get a piece of that one as Cipollone was in the area. Now on the near side, it is Bardero pedaling it back to Gill. Solar Bears got off to a rough start last night. The first 7 shots of the game belonged to Atlanta. We'll look to do that again here. Burns up the ice to Francis, over the attacking line, drops it off, Cipollone shoots, kick save for Mennigan. They'll ladle it to the line, Gaudette further down the wall and behind the net for McNamee. Glances off his stick as he got pinned up along the end wall. Taking it free is Bardero. Up the ice has the open man as Allen shoves it hard around to the near side half wall of the Gladiator zone. Puck will trickle back behind the net. Nychuk takes a stab at it. That's the Gladiators' single-season assist record for most assists by a defenseman in one campaign, with his 42nd last night. On the Gladiators' last goal of the game from Isaac Walter. He'll chuck it up to the neutral zone. O'Brien pitches it down the wall. Beneath the left circle, shoots, and a stick save made by Mennigan. Carrying it to the neutral zone is Lombardi. Orlando puts it on goal where Semptimphelter puts a paddle on it, and it'll give us our first whistle of the game, 1:32 in.
Yeah, Guy, we talked about last night a little bit how it wasn't much of a physical game. Usually these South Division games, they're very physical games. Just in the first minute and a half of this one's going to be pretty physical. Orlando came out on that first shift, laid a couple of big hits, one on Joey Cipollone right by the Gladiators bench. Orlando's not happy about that loss last night, and they're showing it early.
And for the Solar Bears, they have lost their last 3 games, while Atlanta has won its previous 3. So both teams do have a lot on the line here tonight. Orlando pretty much playing for pride at this point. They are very much on the outside of the playoff picture, trying to find their way in. Not very many games remaining for them. For Atlanta, they have 10 games left, including this one, and they've already punched their ticket to the dance. Tied with South Carolina for second in the division with 83 points, but the caveat is that Atlanta does have 1 game in hand on South Carolina, and you figure a game like this will prove to be very impactful when all is said and done. We do have a bit of delay on the ensuing face-off. Looks like there's an issue with the clock. So they do have 18:28 back up on there, and we should be good to go from here. Face-off to the right of Semptimphelter, won by Young. Carabia over to the near side, connects with Orr. Long pass off the skate of Isley. Left for Sylvester. Tries to take a shot, hits the skate, and goes away from the net front. Isley taking the ice for his first shift in his first pro game. Adam Isley signed with the Gladiators earlier today at Ohio State University. Puck is shuffled in down to Semptimfelter. Ladles it over to Carabia. Up the boards to Isley on the far wing. Puck is chipped out to center. Glances off a stick, goes to Carabia. Gloves it down and tries to barrel down the left wing side, but got slowed down a bit by Kodzi. He scored the lone Orlando goal yesterday. And puck will go back to the Gladiators off an Orlando dump in as they get a change. Sylvester whacks it in on the near side. Scardina takes a check along the boards, and that draws the first penalty of the night. And Scardina is down. He appears to be in some distress. Hopefully he is all right. That was a tough check right along that area where the glass meets the boards. And so our great athletic trainer Nick Nelson is going to go and take a look at him. Scardina thankfully back up to his own 2 feet under his own power, but he will be escorted by Nick Nelson to the Gladiators bench.
Yeah, it just looked like Scardina caught in a bad spot there, got kind of caved in, went into the wall a little tough.
And so, to the box is Tyler Cobrin of Orlando. And I assume boarding is likely the call. And the Knights will go to the first power play of the game with only 2 minutes and 23 seconds gone by. Atlanta to the Eco-Electric power play, where they've gone 4 out of 10 over their last 2 games, went 1 for 4 last night. And it looks like they're going to send out the first power play unit to start. Walter, Young, O'Brien, Sylvester, and Nychuk. And the guys to watch out for Atlanta here. Isaac Walter leads the team with 8 power play goals. Broke a 3-way tie with his power play goal last night. And you always got to keep an eye on Chad Nychuk. 42 assists this season. 15 of them have come on the power play. Cobrin in the box. Face off to the left of Mennigan. Young will take the draw against Tyler Drevich. The Atlanta power play this season operates at 18.8%, 14th best in the league. Orlando penalty kill, 79.7%, 18th best in the ECHL. Board battle on the near side. Atlanta trying to keep it in, but it jumbles to the inside and is swept all the way down by Drevich. And Atlanta will start this power play from the deep end. Nychuk plugs it to the right wing for Walter with some steam, feeds it left wing for O'Brien. Wraps it deeper to Sylvester in the near corner, taps it behind the net in hopes of finding Walter, but Solar Bears get in front of that and will clear once again. Down to 1:22 on this Atlanta power play. Nychuk weaves his way to the neutral zone, led ahead for Sylvester. Pass to the right wing, makes its way to Young, but the Knights are offside with 16:52 left in the first. And so Atlanta will get a change in personnel. Coming on now is the third line of Burns, Cipollone, and Francis. Cipollone will take this draw. Excuse me, oh no, we're still on the power play. It's Isley, McNamee, and Cipollone on the second unit with Les and Conroy. And the Solar Bears will clear again off that face-off. And swooping out to start the next charge is Conroy. Over the blue line, left for McNamee. Turns it ahead for Cipollone, and on the right side is Les. Drops it off. Conroy with space at the point. Feeds it left wing. McNamee holds, feeds it the inside. It's a skate and goes into the near corner. Return to McNamee along the half wall. He'll survey his options, taking a bit of time. Put to the line for Conroy. Long shot off a stick and wide. Isley was waiting between the rings. In the far corner, it's Cipollone, shuffling it to the near. McNamee caught in the bind, gets some help from Isley. Puts it up top to Conroy. Over to the right wing, Les has it. Back to Conroy. Now left circle, Isley, a blast save made by Mennigan. Good look there for the rookie in his first pro game. Making it up ice is Lucas Savage is shorthanded, trying to spring Bruder to the net. He was boxed out in front. Penalty expires to Coburn. And the Knights and Solar Bears will now skate 5 aside. Moving down the left wing is Coburn, stood up by Conroy. Francis picks up the puck on the far wall, has some open space. Tried to deke his way around Luchuk, but ended up turning it over. Pass to the right wing for Bardero. Tried to center that one, broken up by Denemy. Trying to get over his own blue line. Bardero strips it free, has a trailer and Bird to the goal, and a stick save made by Septemfelter. Fights it off the stick of Luchuk in front. It remains a scoreless game with 15:04 left in the first. See a face-off to Septemfelter's right. Shot count to this point is 2-2 in favor of no one. So it's pretty even here to start, although Atlanta did begin the night 0 for 1 on the power play. Really not a whole lot going on that man advantage for the Knights. Broken stick off the face-off. It belongs to Cipollone. Scramble to the bench to get a new one as a long shot is kicked away by Septemfelter. Unable to keep it in on the near side was Cooper, so he just flings it down behind the Gladiators netminder, where it's retrieved by Carabia. So the Bears pick it up off the wall. Pinballs between the circles. Grabbed by Carabia once more. Tries to sauce it ahead for Burns. Strong on it. Leaves it for Cipollone. A long blast by Orr, and his stick snaps. That's 2 on the same shift for 2 different players. Orr will just go off. Fresh on is Gaudette. Feeds left wing for Burns. Put in deep to the trapezoid, and Gaudette's going to peel back. The natural defenseman will go back into position as Nychuk, his D partner, hauls it into the neutral zone. Springs Gaudette up the ice on the left wing, but the Knights are offside. 14-15 left in the first, and a little bit of action afterwards.
Yeah, good job by Gaudette, jumping up in the rush there. Just caught offside, I believe it was O'Brien, just a little bit ahead of the play, but a really good idea by Gaudette. He saw the Solar Bears changing. He took some open space. Just an unfortunate break, O'Brien going off sides there at the last second.
Glads fans, never miss a goal. With Flow Hockey, you can watch today's event live along with all other Flow Hockey games for the rest of the season. Visit flowhockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOhockey.tv. Neutral zone face-off off the offside. Drevich against O'Brien. And we're going to do this one again. O'Brien had won it, but going to get a do-over here. And not a whole lot of pace, really, to start this first period. Stark in contrast to last night, where the Gladiators came flying out of the gate and spent a lot of time in the Orlando zone. And so on the do-over, the Solar Bears win the draw. The power down the right wing is Kodzi. Puck rolls to the net, and Septemfelter will cover. And we'll see a face-off in his neck of the woods. TJ Septemfelter having a great year in his rookie campaign. 30 games, 19-9, 1-1 record. 2.16 goals against average, 922 save percentage, and 1 shutout. And it's only the second time this season that he's seen the Solar Bears. Last time he saw Orlando was on January 26th, where he stopped 31 of 32 in a 2-1 win at Kia Center. Gladiators win the faceoff to his left. Plug it up the ice to McNamee. Right wing is Walter, has some separation for a shot. And that is eaten up by Mennigan with 13:57 left in the opening frame. And after the whistle, well after it, McNamee took a spill in front of the Solar Bears net. Bad blood during the break. We'll sort it all out after this. Knights, nothing. Solar Bears, nothing. We return to Duluth after this.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
13:57 on the clock in the first period. Not a whole lot of pace to this game to begin, and as a result of that, we are scoreless between the Solar Bears and the Knights.
Yeah, you just said it, Guy. Not a lot of pace to start this one here. A lot of whistles back and forth, so it's kind of hard to get into a rhythm when you're blowing the whistle every couple of seconds. So got to look for this game to open up a little bit in these next few minutes.
That second line for the Knights back out onto the ice. Sylvester, Young, and Isley. They win an offensive zone face-off. Chuck it to the left point. Gaudette. Spinorama down to the goal line. And around the world they go. Back to the line. Swatting at it to keep it in. Hard pressure from the Solar Bears. Force a turnover. Rolled out to center. Over the red line is Cobran. Slotting it down to Septemfelter from the trapezoid. Shoves it up the near side wall. Sylvester tried to spring Young into action, but that's picked free by the Solar Bears. They come blazing in on a play that the Gladiators bench thought was offside. Take it to the near side half wall and cycle to the line. Cobran has his pass from high to low intercepted by Nychuk. Gladiators fly up ice. Sylvester drop pass, Nychuk to the goal. Save made by Mennigan. And Nychuk has the rebound in the near corner. At the line, it's Conroy. Fakes a shot and pumps it to his right. Sylvester snatches it, turns towards the goal, and fires wide of Mennigan. Now in the far corner, it's Young. Feeling some contact, trying to keep up with the puck. Slaps it to the half wall, pitches it to the line. Conroy holds and shoots, and it's another save for Mennigan, stopping the clock with 12:45 to go, and that was probably the most pace we've seen all night long.
Yeah, a really good shift by that line for the Gladiators with Sylvester, Young, and Isley. A lot of good ozone time there, able to work the puck up top to the D and get a couple of good looks on net.
Faceoff will be on the near circle. Now it is O'Brien with Irie and Denemy. Faceoff is one. Conroy surfs the line and flings it to his right. Less, deeper, off the corner wall. One at Irie. Ends up getting Denemy behind the net, who stabs it to O'Brien along the left wing wall. Back behind the net, Denemy creeps to the far wall and then loses a hand on the puck. Up the ice goes Jared Lukasavages. He'll smack it to the end wall, where it's picked up by Les. First-year Atlanta player slides it out to the neutral zone for Irie. Drops it off for O'Brien, who takes a shot and goes out of play with 12:11 left in the first period. But, Andrew, I really like that breakout set up by Brendan Les. This is one of those players that's been around the block a time or two in this league. 4th year in the ECHL, first year with the Gladiators, and it really showed there on that breakout.
Yeah, he's just been rock solid for this team all season long. Slided in on that second pair with Conroy tonight. Those two guys really play well together. They complement each other very nicely.
Face off on the near circle. Cipollone will take this for the Knights. His opposition at the dot is Anthony Bardaro, who leads all Solar Bear skaters in points in the season series against the Gladiators with 4. Knights win the draw. Left point Carabia shoots off a leg to the right point, kept alive by Orr. Stashes it into the far corner. Solar Bears get a hand on it. Shove it to the neutral zone and away from pretty much anybody. And that will be an icing with 11:55 on the clock.
Yeah, interesting last shift there for the fourth line. It was just Denemy and Irie. Scardina not out there for that one. They were out there with O'Brien, but Scardina is now back on the bench. Expect him to rejoin his line the next time they're up.
Good sight to see for Atlanta. Meanwhile, on the ice now is the Burns, Cipollone, Francis line. Joey Cipollone has been one of those Swiss Army knife kind of players for the Gladiators. over the last few years. Great at winning face-offs. Like to do this one here. A bit of encroachment on that from Francis and Bruder. Until they get sets. Puck is finally down, and Cipollone does win it. Shot by Burns, reaches wide of the net. Available on the near side boards. Francis gets checked or in the area as well. Board battle ensues. Knights trying to probe at it and pick it free. Francis still doing the dirty work. Caught up along the boards. Bladers spilling like bowling pins, and finally Allen able to strip it free. Swings it to the left wing. Solar Bears break out, and not for long. Bardero stood up by Cipollone. Just stiff arms him in the neutral zone. Sets up Orr on the left wing, and now behind the plate, Bardero takes a shot from Corabia, and that will draw a penalty with 11:21 on the clock in period one.
Yeah, Corabia was not happy with the shot that he took on Cipollone as Cipollone was going to the bench. Corabia gives him an extra one, and he's going to go to the box here.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where every now and then it happens. It's like cross-checking is going to be the call. I mean, it's one of those plays where, you know, two players are going hard to the puck, and good on Joey Cipollone to really kind of stand up his man. I thought he made a great play there on Bruder, and it was really what happened after that play where Bruder took offense to it, and then it's he said, he did this, and then all of a sudden, for Atlanta, get your hand caught in the cookie jar, and you're off to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. This is Orlando's first power play of the night. Atlanta went 3 for 3 in the PK yesterday in their 3-1 win over these Solar Bears. Point to point, Gill to the left side. Downhill is Bird from the left circle. Looks over his options, ladle it to the left point, and now the right for Gill. Bardero across. Shot and a score. Luciano Wilson scores from long range and gives the Solar Bears a 1-0 lead with a power play goal.
Yeah, just a really nice setup by the Solar Bears on that power play. They go cross ice to set up Wilson there at that point. He takes a couple of steps in and fires it high glove on Semptimfelter to give Orlando the lead.
And so the Solar Bears, with a power play goal from Wilson, have the first goal of the night. Orlando, when scoring first this season, is 20-11-1-1. Atlanta, when trailing first this season, is 11-15-1. A lot of hockey left to be played here. Solar Bears cut back towards the net. Kazi, the goal line for Eddie. Stood up there by Conroy. Divorces him from the puck, and here comes Atlanta. McNamee swirls it to the right corner for Isley. On his backhand, swings it down low to McNamee. Evades a check from Eddie in deep. Atlanta trying to keep it in. Young, wide of the net. And now in the far corner, Drevich will pick it up and smack it out. Solar Bears get a change. Atlanta out to their own blue line. Aggressive on the forecheck is the most recent goal scorer, Wilson. Taking a check is Conroy, and Gladiators bench thought there should have been a call there for a high hit. They're not going to get one. Conroy back on his feet, makes a defensive play in the near corner. Sets up Denemy for a breakout out to the neutral zone. And he got a little bit of contact there from Lombardi. This game getting very physical here as Bird and Conroy tied up behind the play. They're giving each other some shoves, and now they're letting them play. Meanwhile, Scardina back in the action, shoots from the right wing. Save made by Menigan. Puck available. Corabia has it. Right circle shot. Another save by Menigan. Kept alive in the near corner. Scardina to the line. Or across to Corabia for a chance. Wide of the mark. And Denemy tried to backhand it to the slot, but nobody was there. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Scardina operating in front of the scorer's table. Gets caught up with by a Solar Bear. That was Mark Cooper. And again, they just keep letting them play. 9:02 left in the first period. No icing, so Semptimfelter will slow it down for Corabia. And it kind of seems like a precedent has been set in this game as to what's going to happen on the physicality front. Towards the net, puck is swept away in front of Menigan. Walter was driving towards the crease. O'Brien in the near corner on his backhand, puts it up top to Gaudette for a shot off a leg and wide. Now McNamee from the far corner gets a piece of the puck. Solar Bears look to clear as Lucas Savages drags it to the neutral zone. Tossed O'Brien down to the ice, right at center circle. Snatching it in front of his own bench is Gaudette. Spins out of a check from Lucas Savages as he tried to pump it into Solar Bear territory. Instead, it's a blast from the red line from Bardero that is launched out of play by the blocker of Septenfelter with 8:12 left in the first. Luciano Wilson's second goal of the season and Orlando's first of the night has the Solar Bears up 1-0 to start. We are back to Duluth after this.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hockey Heritage Weekend here in Duluth. Atlanta fans, make your way over to the team store down on the concourse sometime during this weekend. We have Thrashers Night coming up tomorrow to get your Knights merch and your Thrashers merch. Once it's gone, it is gone, and believe me, it is flying off the shelves fast. Available at AtlantaGladiators.com as well. Just click the shop icon up in the top corner. Meanwhile, the Knights work their way in deep. Burns checked off the puck by Britt. Puck over on the far corner now, leaking behind the net. Good stab for McMullen for Orlando to slide it out of harm's way, but does end up being an icing with 7:44 on the clock. Andrew, this game has gotten a bit interesting here in the first. Definitely more physical here today than what we saw yesterday. And we've seen one penalty called on each team, but feels like there could have been a lot of opportunities to make a call there over the last few minutes. They let them play, and I think that really sets the tone as to how this game is going to go here tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Referees letting them play tonight. Let's see if they keep to that.
Offensive zone face-off won by the Knights. Conroy from the left point takes a shot. That gets blocked. He'll try another. Hits a stick and flubs to the slot where it's picked up by Orlando. Coburn got some wood on that long-range try from Conroy. Knights come back in on the left wing. It is Isley trying to drop it off for less, but the pass did not connect, and Atlanta's forced back out to the neutral zone. Now Sylvester trying to execute a give and go with Young on the near side. That didn't work out, so the puck will sputter back to the D for Atlanta, and they will regroup and reload. Young stood up at center circle. Puck glances off his stick. Drevich on the near side, ladles it ahead in hopes of finding Eddie. He gets taken into the near corner. Puck is shuttled over to the left wing. Skating into it is Allen. Punch it deeper for Orlando. Orr has it in the far corner. Gets hooked around his neck. Still no call, and away we go. Atlanta out to center. Carabia in front of the scorer's tables. Lost his stick. Somehow squeezing free is Scardina. Drops it off for a shot. Saved by Mennigan and swept away by Allen. Right chance there by Kirkland Irie, playing in his second pro game. Signed with the Gladiators on Monday out of Bemidji State. And now a big-time crunch in front of the Solar Bears bench. Scardina took the blow on that one. And this game is starting to look like a WWE match. 6:15 left in the first period. Here comes Orlando. Puck to the slot, smack to the near side. Irie's got it, and he will just wheel it to the far corner for Nychuk. Bird gets in front of it, soccers it around the horn and up to the right point. Schmaggy from high to low, looking for Wilson in the corner. Picked away by Atlanta and sent to center by Irie. Walter will spit it back to Gaudette. Atlanta trying to break out here and tie this game up. Got it pestered by Wilson. Somehow able to shuffle his way out of it. Finds O'Brien up the ice on the left wing. He'll skate by Schmaggy. Sauce it behind the net. Walter back to the slot. Wanted McNamee. Hit his stick. Grabbed by O'Brien from the high slot. Turns to the net and shoots. Glove save Mennigan. Puck is free. Walter from his knees. Couldn't punch it in. It's defended by Lombardi on that play, and Orlando will clear. Nychuk drags it right back in. Will go around in center. Blocked in front. It's like got a delayed penalty here. High sticking is going to be the call, and the Knights are going back to the eco-electric power play with 5:14 left in the first in an attempt to try to tie this one up at 1.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
I believe I misspoke before we went to break. It looks like an extra penalty has been added, and it is on Atlanta. So we will skate 4 aside here with 5:14 left in the first period. So no power play for the Knights. Instead, 4-on-4 action, and the ice is going to open up a little bit here, Andrew. Gladiators on the ice are Francis, Cipollone, Les, and Conroy. What are you looking for out of this group? They do have an offensive zone faceoff here.
Yep, they got a lot of space to work with here. I'd like to see them use it. Take advantage of the extra space that they're going to have out here at 4-on-4.
Orlando wins the faceoff to the left of Mennigan. And they will dangerously sauce the puck across the slot. Somehow keep a hand on it, and away they go. Luchuk through the neutral zone, drops it off for Gill. That plays offside, whistle blows 16 seconds into the 4-on-4.
Yeah, guys, just to touch on the physicality tonight, we're honoring a 90s hockey team, the Atlanta Knights, and this is some throwback 90s hockey we're seeing with just the sheer physicality we've seen in this first period.
Atlanta Knights hung around the IHL from 1992 to 1996. Won the Turner Cup in 1994. And on these jerseys that the players are wearing is a commemorative patch honoring the 1994 Turner Cup champions, the Atlanta Knights. So the Knights with the puck will creep their way behind E.J. Semptimphelter. Conroy carries over the red line, and now Solar Bear Blue. Extra pass finds Les. Long shot sticked away by Mennigan and out of play. 1:23 on the 4-on-4 and 4:37 left in the first. It looks like Atlanta's going to get some fresh bodies on. It'll be Isley, Young, Carabia, and Orr, and I really felt like Carabia has elevated his play offensively over the last couple of games. Rang a shot off the pipe last night, just 1 assist on the season for Carabia. This is 37th game, but it feels like he's probably going to factor in at some point. Long shot by Orr, gobbled up by Mennigan, and we get another whistle here.
Yeah, just to touch on Carabia, as you said, Guy, he's been looking really good as of late. He's moving the puck really well, chipping in on the offensive end a little bit more than we've seen from him. It's a very good sight to see for this Gladiators D-core.
Alex Young will take this face-off. That's Andrew Bruder. Win the face-off, or another shot. That screeches wide of Mennigan. 2 good chances there for the rookie. Puck remains in the Solar Bears zone. Orr playing in his 5th game of the season, signed with Atlanta out of Stonehill College a few weeks ago. Here is Lucas Savages blazing down the left wing. He'll drive around the net, carry it up to the high slot, still hanging on. Now on the far circle, pulls up, ladles it across. Cooper looking across, swings it near for Lucas Savages. Or with defensive coverage, and we've got a fight. It's Dylan Carabia and Andrew Bruder. Couple of haymakers to start. Round and around they go. Bruder with an uppercut. Carabia with the finishing blow. Dylan Carabia had enough of the nonsense. He lays down the law. I'm talking about him before. That's not quite the way I thought he was going to factor into things, but you gotta love it. It's an old schoolyard scrap here. Just round and around, swinging him around like a turnstile, and then a couple of good contacts on the hits there from Carabia. And he does wrap him up and take him down at the end, and the fans are certainly loving it as well.
Yeah, Carabia and Bruder just tied out in front of the net there, giving each other a couple of jabs back and forth, and then finally they decide, all right, let's go, let's drop them. Nice scrap between those two guys.
And it felt like we were kind of due for a moment like that.
Certainly.
3:55 left in the first period. Fisticuffs for the ages here on Knights Night. And we really are bringing that 90s style of hockey back. So still 4 aside. Carabia and Bruder both to the locker room. The 5 for fighting. Off the ensuing face-off on the near circle. Shot snapped off the stick of Bird. Blocked by Conroy. He'll lug it into the offensive zone. Have to put it towards the net for Walter. Flung away by Britt. Sneaking away. Cutting to the goal is Conroy. Threads it across. They score! What a pass from Conroy to O'Brien. And the Knights have tied the game at 1.
Ryan Conroy at 4-on-4 says, all right, I'll do it myself. Gets in on the forecheck along with Isaac Walter. They force the turnover. Conroy, great patience, walks it out in front of the net. Jack O'Brien slips back door. And a perfect pass from Conroy right onto the stick of O'Brien. And they tie it up.
How in the world did Ryan Conroy slink his way out of that double team down there along the end wall? I don't know, but what a setup and an excellent finish. Jack O'Brien gets the score, his 24th of the season, extends his point streak to 4 games, 3 goals, and 1 assist in that span. So all tied up with the goal from O'Brien on the 4-on-4. McNamee right wing shot goes over the head of Mennigan. And we are still 4-on-4 until now, as out of the box are Nychuk for the Gladiators. I should say the Knights, and the Solar Bears, their guy comes out as well. Scardina tries to cut towards the net, cut off at the blue line. On the right wing, it is Eley, steering it to the end wall where it's picked up by Conroy. He's taken down behind the play. Again, the Atlanta bench looking for a call. They will not get it. Meanwhile, Scardina over the attacking line. Take it into the near corner, but not off the puck. Denemy in the area as well. This line's so strong on the forecheck, but they're not going to win this battle here, despite the good effort. So the Bears lob the puck out of play in the neutral zone with 2:24 on the clock in period 1. But Andrew, Atlanta's tied this game up at 1, and once again, we see them pull ahead in the shot count. They lead that department 13-5.
Yeah, they started this game maybe a little bit sluggish, but they've really picked it up in these last couple of minutes, and they tie the game up with it. Matt Ginn looking for a delayed game call right now, but doesn't look like he's going to get it.
I mean, they've been begging for something, and they haven't really gotten a whole lot here today, have they?
Nope.
And so it'll be a face-off right in front of the Solar Bears bench. 4th line on for Atlanta. Drevich will take the face-off against Denemy. And the Solar Bear is the victor. Gill up the ice, wanted Lucas Savages, pass was behind him. Icing on Orlando with 2:15 on the clock. Ryan Conroy with that assist. Now has 10 apples on the season, 14 points, and now 59 games. This was a guy last season with Adirondack at 29 points in 71 games. He was third in team scoring for a Thunder team that really wasn't one of the better teams in the league. They're towards the bottom of the standings, but showed a lot of flashes, and we've seen him do that a time or two this season. Conroy's been a great pickup for the Gladiators, offensively and defensively. Was acquired in a trade with Adirondack over the summer. He's back out on the ice here. Faceoff moves to the near circle. The third line back on. So their Bears win the draw. Turnover at the right circle. Les turning, trying to find some separation. Steers it to the near corner for Francis. Reversed back the other way. Touched by Gill. Les has a jump over his stick. And here goes Lucas Savages. And make that Codsey blazing towards the nets. And a bit of contact as he tried to get there. Semptimphelter felt some as well. And Atlanta picks it free. Here is Conroy over the attacking line. Tries to drop it off for Burns. Bit of a miscue there, and so he'll just swipe it deeper and get off for a change. Meanwhile, behind the plate, Drevich trying to go after Conroy. Linesman gets in front of that. Left wing shot from Allen goes wide of Semptimphelter. This game has just been all over the place. Gotta keep your eyes peeled in this one. Nychuk up to the far boards for Francis. Across to Burns. 1:12 left in period one. Solar Bears get it back in the neutral zone. Schmaggy has some open space. Chips it to center ice. Knights pick it back up. Nychuk shuttles it to the left wing for Young. Off the wall, trying to find Sylvester. Instead, got Allen. He'll chuck it off his own end wall to the near corner for Schmaggy. Contested by Young. They'll battle for it along the boards. Push puck from low to high. Now on the right wing. They'll hold and shoot up and over the head of Mennigan off the stick of Nychuk. Gets it back as he surfs the line. Cuts to the high slot and leaves it for Gaudette. Swinging to the left wing. Takes a shot. That gets blocked. And the Solar Bears just jam it out the center with 25 seconds left in the first period. Maybe one last chance here in period one for the Knights. Cross-ice feed is intercepted by Bardero. Getting it back is Walter. He'll drive to the left corner, set up a shot from Orr. That goes wide. 10 seconds left. Solar Bears chip it to the line, but not out. McNamee tries to knife his way towards the net. Gets cut off. Solar Bears clear, and that will be the end of the first period. And so, after one, it is 1-1 between the Knights and the Solar Bears. Same position we were in last night. It was Atlanta that won 3-1. We'll see if they can do it again here today, as a lot of the themes of yesterday's game are cropping up once more, but the one difference, the physicality in this one. Atlanta out shooting Orlando 14-5. We did see a fight between Dylan Carabia and Andrew Bruder. And we'll get to talk about it a whole lot more on the other side of the break. Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau to recap the first period and preview the second, as well as talk some shop here on Knights Night, a night full of nostalgia at Gas South Arena. All that coming up on the other side of the break in 1 minute. We are back after this.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be breaking down everything that happened in that first period, but let's check in with our scores. It is tied here at Gas South Arena 1-1. The Atlanta Knights with 14 shots on goal and the Orlando Solar Bears with 5. Now, Guy, you're not Guy, you're Andrew. Now, Andrew,
Yes,
what are you seeing in this game that's a little bit different than what you saw yesterday?
Physicality, one word, physicality. This game is an absolute slugfest in that first period. Everyone was going back and forth at it. Talked about a little bit with Guy during the period. Obviously, we're honoring the Atlanta Knights tonight, a IHL team from the 90s. And this period felt like a 1990s kind of period, you know, very physical, very fast-paced, a lot of tenacity between these two teams. It was a very fun watch, but would like to see both teams get back to a little more hockey.
Yeah,
like to see the referees keep them in check a little bit more and get back to some hockey.
Do you think that there was a little bit of inspiration when they came into the game tonight?
Maybe. Maybe. There certainly
they
could
thought,
have been.
Let's put on a show tonight.
Yeah, you know, maybe they put those jerseys on and something just arose within them that they're like, all right, we're gonna turn back the clock a bit tonight, play a little old school hockey.
Now, you mentioned that there was a lack of calls on the ice so far this first period. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, just sometimes a little over physical for both sides, but obviously the referee's trying to let them play a little bit more. So if that's the precedent they want to set, then they got to be ready for it.
All right, should be interesting to watch as this game unfolds here today. Do you want to break down the scores for us, the goals?
Sure. So the Gladiators, we talked about it last night. They really controlled the game last night. I thought they were all over Orlando from start to finish, but Orlando got out to a little bit of a better start here tonight, obviously opening up the scoring. It starts with a power play for Orlando, and it's a power play that I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I get the call going back and forth. I believe it was Bardero was going back and forth with Joey Cipollone in front of the Gladiators bench. He gave Cipollone a nice little two-hander across the back as Cipollone was trying to get off the ice. So Dylan Carabia, being the good teammate that he is, he's like, all right, I don't want you doing that to my teammate. I don't want you doing that to my buddy. He comes back and he gives Bardero a really nice cross-check. And, of course, the referees only call Carabia, send the Gladiators to the penalty kill. But good on the Solar Bears for taking advantage of it. It was a really nice setup by them. Bardero out there with Wilson. Bardero, just a nice cross-ice pass to Wilson, who has a lot of space to walk in, and he picks his spot on Sempenfelter. He had a lot of space and a lot of time to take that shot, and he made no mistake, and he gave the Solar Bears an early lead.
And then we had a bit of 4-on-4 hockey there where Jack O'Brien got his 24th of the season from Conroy. You want to break that down for us as well?
Yeah, Ryan Conroy starting with the puck in his own end, saw some open space, and he said, all right, I'm going to take it. I'm taking this one, boys. I'm going to go get one. Ends up chipping the puck into the corner. Him along with Isaac Walter, very, very strong on the forecheck, forcing a turnover. And then Ryan Conroy with a lot of time and a lot of very good patience skates the puck right out in front of the net. He sees O'Brien crash in the back door, and he slides it right under the defender's stick, right to O'Brien, who's crashed in the back door, and he just has a wide open net to put it in to tie this game up. Just a very great job by Ryan Conroy. Very tenacious forecheck by him. For a defenseman getting in there on the forecheck, it's a great sight to see him getting in there, forcing the turnover, and eventually leading to a goal.
Now, I want to bring up the fact that I definitely forgot my string of thought there, but let's flip it over to talking about a new addition to the lineup tonight, Adam Isley. What were you seeing from him tonight?
Yeah, so he slided in on that second line along with Sylvester and Young, and I liked what I saw from him in that first period. You know, obviously it's going to be a bit of a change of pace for him coming from the college game to the pro game now, but I liked what I saw from him. I thought he was ready to go, he was ready to play, and he blended right in with this Gladiators crew, which was really nice to see. Obviously playing with two veteran players in Alex Young and Cody Sylvester, two guys who've been there, done that. They're veterans in this league. That's a great line for him to start on, two guys who can kind of take him under their wing. And I thought that line really started to click as that first period went on. I look to see them continue to do that in the second.
It's interesting that you mentioned, Alex Young and saying that he's a great person to start out playing with, because speaking to him, I spoke with him last night and throughout the season, he's a very humble guy. Yep. And he's all about working with his teammates and, He's the one that's going to hype up his teammate over himself when he's the leader of this Gladiators team in points right now. But he's always going to throw his teammates out there over himself when it comes to that. And I appreciate that in a player for being really humble and you know, looking out for your team in that way.
Yeah, you know, and that's what you look for hockey players. You know, that's kind of like that's what people say about hockey players. They're just very humble guys. They're good guys. They're fun to be around. And it sounds that's exactly what Alex Young's like. He's just a really good guy in the locker room, great teammate, great team guy. And that's the kind of guy that you want to build your team around. You know, you want to comprise your locker room of guys who are good to be around, effective players, effective teammates, and just all around good people. So love hearing that about Alex Young.
Yeah, and I remembered what I was going to bring up. I was going to talk about the slow starts here, and that's kind of a crux. We've been talking about it kind of all season. You know, they had 16 games where they didn't score in the first period, and the Solar Bears got that first goal tonight, you know, but the Gladiators came out, got that goal in the first period as well. Do you think it's going to change how they play in this game, getting an early goal but not the first goal?
Yeah, so talked about it a little bit. The Gladiators started a little bit slow, but now we see at the end of the first period, the shot count is 14 for the Gladiators and 5 for Orlando. So it seems like towards the end of that first period, they kind of got back to that game that they were playing last night where they were just overwhelming the Solar Bears offensively. And the Solar Bears trying to combat that, coming back a little bit physical. Obviously not ending up with any penalties out of it, but if that's going to work for the Solar Bears, if they're going to be able to stay out of the box, Gladiators got to recognize that they're going to be physical and they got to fight back.
Yeah, and before we head to a break, I have a question for the YouTube live chat. Unfortunately, I don't think we can answer this one, but I know I've seen some fans in the chat throughout the season that were fans of the Atlanta Knights. So if you have a favorite player that was on the Atlanta Knights, let us know, and we can do our research after this game to see how they played back in the day. So once again, it is tied here in Duluth, 1-1. We will see you after the break.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about what we want to see in that second period. But first, we are tied here in Duluth, 1-1. Atlanta Knights have 14 shots on goal, and Orlando Solar Bears have 5. Now, before we went to break, I asked everyone in the YouTube live chat if you have a favorite Knights player. So let us know so we can do our research after the game. All right, Andrew, what do you want to see in this second period?
Yeah, you know, I'd like to see the Gladiators continue what they were doing towards the end of that first period. Talked about it a little bit before the break. Shots on goal now 14-5 in favor of the Gladiators, or the Knights, I should say. Sorry. But as I was saying, they did a really good job towards the end of that first period, and I feel like it really started with the 4-on-4 and the Conroy assist to O'Brien. They really kind of seized momentum back, and going back a little bit further, it was that Carabia fight. The fight between Carabia and Bruder. During that 4-on-4, Carabia and Bruder tied up a little bit in front of the Gladiators net, and then both of them look at each other and decide, all right, let's go. Let's shed the gloves. Let's get chucking here. And a couple of heavy rights from Carabia. Feel like that really got this crowd into this game here tonight and really kind of propelled the Gladiators for the rest of that 4-on-4 to tie this one up. So great job by Carabia. He took that tough penalty earlier in the period that led to the goal for the Solar Bears. But then he kind of makes up for it, I feel like, a little bit with that big fight towards the end of the first that ultimately kind of led to the O'Brien goal, I'll say. Not directly led, but you kind of felt the momentum shift with that fight.
Now, we talked about a bit before the break about how physical this game has been so far. Do you think that's only going to increase as we play more tonight?
Yeah, I think it will. If this game is going to be called the way that it has been called in the first period, I think that the physicality is only going to ramp up. Guys, if they're seeing that they're not getting called for some of the hits that they're making, they're just going to ramp it up even that much more and kind of test the limits of it, a little bit, and just they're gonna push until they can't push anymore,
And you've mentioned through the season as well that sometimes physicality can be a momentum in this game. Do you think that if it shifts for both sides, do you think one is going to come on top due to their physical play tonight?
Yeah, I think the physicality is going to be absolutely huge tonight. Just after watching that first period, the way Orlando came out very physical, and they were able to get that first goal. I think the physicality is going to be very, very important to this game tonight, and it's probably going to end up deciding who ends up with the 2 points after this game. Got to see the Gladiators, and they did pick it up in the physicality department a little bit, but I think they felt like Orlando was taking some liberties on them that they weren't too happy about. Saw a couple of times the bench kind of throw their arms up a little bit, not too happy with a non-call going against them. So definitely going to pick up the physicality a little bit, and I think it's going to be a very entertaining second and third period tonight that we see.
And we have to mention it, the second period surge. Do you think it's going to happen here tonight?
I think we're very much primed for a second period surge. As I said, Gladiators really picking it up towards the end of that first period, and I think they're only just going to keep that going in this second. I'm very excited to see what this team can do for the rest of the night, especially in these jerseys. Man, these jerseys are sweet tonight. I was looking at them in the merch store a little bit earlier.
Did you ever go down and grab one?
You know what? I didn't.
No, you know what? They might be gone.
I know they probably are, and I'm going to be mad about it when we get back in here tomorrow. But man, those sweaters are nice. They look identical to the Atlanta Knights sweaters from the 90s. The Jersey team did such a good job on those jerseys. They look so nice. I'm very mad that I did not.
Wait, you still have a chance. You can bid on it in the auction tonight after the game.
Very, very, very true, Shelby. There will be an auction after the game for those of you in attendance who see a Knights jersey on a particular player that you like. You can go down and bid on it.
Who are you going to bid on?
Ooh, that's a really good question. If I were to bid, not saying that I am going to bid on a jersey because that might be
I might convince
a little too rich for my blood. I'll probably just go down to the merch store and get myself a nice blank jersey.
That is your last chance to get a jersey, Andrew.
I'm really hoping that they have them tomorrow. But nonetheless, if I were bidding, you know what? I'd probably have to go with the captain, Cody Sylvester.
Okay.
I feel like that one's gonna the price on that one is gonna be. That one's probably going to be a little bit steep.
Some extra cash tonight, then.
Yeah, good. I don't think I brought my wallet tonight, so thank God I won't be dishing out some cash for that one.
That was my excuse yesterday. You can't take my excuse.
Yeah, you know what? I came in yesterday and I got my Thrashers sweatshirt yesterday for tomorrow night, so we'll see. I'll have to take another look in the merch store tonight or tomorrow morning when we get in. See if there's any Knights merch left, because the merch team did such a good job on both, not only the Thrashers merch, but the Knights merch. I think both of them just came out so good. It's just a great merch drop by the Gladiators. And if any of you watching want to get that merch, you can go get it online on the Gladiators team store on the website, or you can come in here to Gas South Arena tomorrow. Hopefully there will be some jerseys left. I don't know if the Thrashers ones will still be hanging around, but hopefully. So if you're looking for some Thrashers Knights or just some good old Gladiators merch, come on down to Gas South. Get yourself some.
All right, you want to check out what's going on in that chat?
Yeah, let's see what's going on in the chat. Peach Fuzz is looking for the second period surge. I think we're all looking for the second period surge. I think that this game is only going to hit another level in this second period. I'm very excited to see what goes on in this second period in just terms of pure physicality. That first period, that might have been the most physical period that I have seen this season. It felt like every couple of minutes, just guys were throwing big blows at each other. A lot of clean hits, a lot of good hits. And as I said a little bit earlier, feels like it's a throwback to kind of that 90s hockey. It's a lot of fun to watch. I'm very excited to see this second period. Let's see what's going on in here. Everyone excited about the O'Brien goal. Yeah, that was just an absolute great effort by Ryan Conroy during the 4-on-4. He chips that puck into himself. Him and Isaac Walter go in on the forecheck, force a turnover on the Solar Bears defenseman, and then Ryan Conroy, just great patience and a lot of space, takes that puck right out in front. Then Jack O'Brien, recognizing that Conroy has some space with the puck and he's looking to pass it. O'Brien does the smart thing. He goes to the net. He crashes that back door. Perfect pass by Conroy. And O'Brien, with a lot of time of the world, and just a wide open net to put it in. Just a great job by the Gladiators to get this one back tied.
Now, before we head back into the break, I want to ask you, is there any line or person in particular that you want to watch in this second period?
Yeah, you know what? I'm really excited to see more from this second line of Sylvester, Young, and Isley. Felt like we didn't see a lot of them in that first period. Obviously, the Gladiators had a power play. They had a penalty kill. We played a little bit of 4-on-4, so not a lot of time for those guys to get together. But I'm really excited to see that line get more looks at 5-on-5. I'm really excited to see what that line can do. Obviously, Isley coming into this game tonight, making his professional debut out of Ohio State, scored 13 goals for Ohio State this season. So he's a player who's going to be able to find the back of the net, and he's got two guys on his line with him who can dish it. Sylvester's a great passer. Young is a great passer. So I'm going to be really excited to see what that line could do in the second period.
Yeah, and looking forward to that second period surge here at Gas South Arena. And it's just about time for those Atlanta Knights to head back onto the ice. Once again, it is tied here in Duluth, 1-1. The Knights have 14 shots on goal, and the Orlando Solar Bears have 5. We will see you after the break.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Set for the start of the second period here at Gas South Arena. It is the Atlanta Gladiators hosting the Orlando Solar Bears here on Knights Night at Gas South Arena. First night of Hockey Heritage Weekend. Knights Night tonight, Thrashers Night tomorrow night for one night and one night only. The Gladiators will be known as the Atlanta Knights, paying tribute to hockey in Atlanta's past. Knights from the IHL back in the mid to late 90s. Won the Turner Cup in 1994. Gladiators honoring them with specially jerseys, just like the ones they wore back in the day. White jersey with black numbers and light blue trim. They'll skate from left to right here in the second period. Solar Bears wearing black jerseys with white numbers and purple trim. They'll skate from right to left here in period number 2. We've seen out of the Gladiators many, many times this season, Andrew, the second period surge. The Gladiators have scored second period goals in 3 straight games. It is their best scoring period. Not to sound like a broken record, but this is where they make their money.
Yeah, second period surge all season for this Gladiators team. It's been a lot of fun to watch this team in this period. It just feels like they always seem to take their game and step it up another level in the second period. And we'll see if they can do it in this second, try and take a lead.
That's what they did last night. Took the lead in the second period and did not look back. They look to do the same thing here tonight, which is once again a 1-1 tie after 1. Atlanta this season, when tied after 1, has a record of 19-4-1-1. Orlando, in the same situation, has a record of 9-13-3-1. So that might tell you a little bit about these two teams in the seasons that they've had. One has already booked its ticket to the postseason. The other is last in the division and is fighting by the skin of its teeth to try and find a way to make it into the playoff picture. Orlando not mathematically eliminated yet, although pretty much we have to win out from here and get a whole lot of help. Joey Cipollone will take the opening draw of the second period against Anthony Bardero. And we will await the second period surge here on this Friday night of hockey, presented by Freddy's. And Orlando has won the opening draw of period 2. The rim it hard around to the right wing on an icing. Just 7 seconds in. That was a close one, but I guess the Solar Bears did not cross the red line, and so for the Knights, it'll be an offensive zone face-off to the left of Mennigan, who ended up stopping 13 of 14 in the first period. For TJ Simptonfelter, much like Ethan Hyder last night, not a whole lot to do. He ends up stopping 4 of 5. So it's Cipollone against Bardero again on the knee. Sauces it to the neutral zone where it's handled by Lucas Savages. He'll angle it up to Bardero. Burns picks up a free puck as it glanced off the Solar Bears stick. And Atlanta just pots it deep into Solar Bear territory. And we'll get a wholesale change here. McNamee on the forecheck. Watches Britt breeze through the neutral zone over the attacking line. Rolls it around to the near corner. Lombardi to the line for a shot by Allen. Saves Simptonfelter. And another on the second opportunity from Bird. Camped out in the slot. Had a good chance. Puck stays with Orlando in the trapezoid. Here is Bird again. Trying to creep away from O'Brien. Not going to happen. O'Brien gets the steal and lays it to the line, but not out. The Solar Bears keep. From the right wing, it's Bird again. Spinning away from Gaudette. The youngster trying to pick it free, but Orlando hangs on, and an errant pass to the near point. Blazes by Allen, and Atlanta gets a free clear, and a much-needed one. Still in the opening 2 minutes of period number 2. Solar Bears look to break out. Another errant pass, turns it over to Orr. They'll shuttle it to the neutral zone and off a stick and in. Allen will retrieve from behind Mennigan. They'll swoop out to the far wing, plug it up ahead, and he wanted that stretch pass to Keegan McMullen. Just about a foot off. That's going to be an icing on Orlando. 1:58 into the middle frame.
Yeah, a couple of early icings by Orlando in this second period. Got to hope the Gladiators can take advantage off of this draw in the Orlando end.
And it looks like here in the second period, the Solar Bears have had a little bit more jump and jam to their game than the Knights have had. Offensive zone face-off for Atlanta. Young will take this face-off against Drevich. And face-off is won by the Solar Bears. Put it to the line, less with a glove on it, couldn't keep it in, and Eddie tries to burrow past him, and they do. Drevich picks it up, takes a shot, stick saves Simptonfelter. Available on the far wall, Young has it, sends Isley into action. Adam Isley, pro game number 1, feeds it to the right wing for Les, back the other way, away from Young, catches up to it, puts it to the left point, across to the right, Les with some room, makes himself out a bit. Drifts the puck around the horn, up to the line, and Orr forced out to center thanks to the forecheck from McMullen. So Atlanta forced to drive it in from center. Now they'll peel back and opt to get a line change in. Here is Eddie for Orlando, moving it wing to wing. Drevich on the far side, just knifes it into Knights territory, where it's handled by the defenders. Conroy over the red line, lifts it into Solar Bear ice. Orlando responds by jamming it back out to center, where Denemy will hold. Outlet pass off the stick of Conroy, on goal to Mennigan. Swoops it to his right for Gill, the Lightning prospect. And he will clear to the line, but not out. Good pinch by Gaudette. Second opportunity to clear, once again held in by the first-year pro out of Stonehill College. Puts it to the trapezoid. Solar Bears for the third time will try and exit, and this time they will. Britt skates it down the right wing. Has some room, but it quickly evaporates. Conroy takes the real estate away. And now in the near corner, puck is up for grabs. Solar Bears put it to the line. Luchuk, left circle shot, screeches wide to Simptonfelter. Kept in at the right point by Gill and shuffled behind the net. Centering feed, hits a skate and rolls in on Simptonfelter. Lucas Savages waiting for the centering feed. Did find it, but didn't get a whole lot of mustard on it.
Yeah, good ozone time for the Solar Bears. Able to set up a man back door, just wasn't able to get the stick on it. Simptonfelter aware, gets a good cover. Gladiators, or the Knights, I should say, get a change in.
You know, it's tough, and I don't blame you. I've had my struggles with it tonight as well. I mean, you play 62 games as the Atlanta Gladiators, and then for one night you're the Atlanta Knights. It is tough to get into a rhythm there. Face off on the near circle. Solar Bears win it. Cooper a drive. Gobbled up by Felter. Just absorbs it like a sponge. He will hold with 16-12 on the clock in the second.
Yeah, good job by Orr there, boxing out his winger who was trying to get to the net. Boxes a guy out, allows Felter to see that shot all the way through, and a nice, easy save for TJ.
Face-off will move to the far circle. Cipollone to duel against Massimo Lombardi. Lombardi playing in his 4th professional game. It's about that time of the year where the college seasons are starting to wrap up. Tournament ongoing, and you see a lot of guys sign with pro teams to get a look, not just for this year, but help teams in the playoffs. And in Orlando's case, set up shop for next year. At the right point, it is Cooper, slinging it to the corner. Wilson back to Cooper. And behind the net is Bird. Tries to scoot away from Orr. Ends up turning it over. Mickey Burns takes it on the run. Burns to the inside. Francis sneaks and shoots. Blocked by Allen. Puck loose on the near side boards. Both teams hacking and whacking at it. It'll eventually drift to Cooper from the right wing. Floats it into the near corner and gets off for a change. Meanwhile, the Knights try and execute a quick transition, but that goes astray, and it ends up going down as an icing. 4:28 into the second.
Yeah, just a miscommunication there between Chad Nychuk and his winger, Ryan Francis. Francis thought Nychuk was going to take that one back behind the net. Nychuk looking for the quick up. Just a little miscommunication between those two. Ends up as an icing for the Knights.
There was a lot of wide open space on the near side. If they hit that pass, especially to a guy like Francis, who's got a lot of speed, you never know. But we'll have to put that one on the back burner. Face on to the left of Felter. And the Knights have won it. Here is Francis using that speed to get out to the neutral zone. Rims it down to the trapezoid, and we'll get off for a change. Solar Bears trying to fly in on the left wing. Les gets in front of it at the scores table. Orlando bats at it, so Conroy will grab it behind the net with Eddie pressuring. Skate out to the far wall and escape a check dumped in by McNamee. Boy, Conroy's been so slippery here tonight. They've just been trying to check him all game long, and he's found a way to spin away, and the Gladiators' goal here today, able to set up the pass to O'Brien. Speaking of which, here he is, deep in his own territory, being pestered by Drevich, blows a tire from his knees, loses the puck, centering feed from down low is intercepted by Walter, and he'll rumble out to the neutral zone. Walter creates some separation down the left wing. He'll go around the net and eventually get caught up to and checked hard at the end wall. Back up on his feet, Walter lumbering a bit, tries to rejoin the play. Gaudette tossed down in front of the Solar Bears bench as Atlanta dumps the puck in. Been a very physical game so far here today as Bardero drives towards the net. Forced to the end wall, keeping the puck. The Solar Bears chuck it from low to high. Cooper shimmies it down the near side wall to the corner. Nice reverse check from Gaudette, throwing it on Keegan McMullen. Solar Bears somehow able to hang on for now as Coburn has the puck taken away by Isley, and Atlanta takes flight. Isley over the attacking line has the puck scrubbed off his stick. Solar Bears move in transition as they plug it to the right wing. It'll glance off his stick or puts it up the ice. Young will handle, developing 3-on-2 for Atlanta. Young to the left wing has Isley dropped off for a shot save. The rebound is loose, and they blow the whistle with 13:34 on the clock.
I believe the net came off.
Not by much, but you are correct. And so that is the reason that play was nipped in the bud. 1-1 tie with 13:34 left in the second. Knights lead the shot count 15-8. See if they can get back on the board here when we come back.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
13:34 left in the second period. We are all tied up at 1. Offensive zone face-off here for Atlanta, and they will send out the fourth line with Denemy, Eley, and Scardina. Face-off on the far circle. Bardero against Denemy, and the Solar Bear the victor. Britt swoops out to the left wing, tries to get the puck out. Good keep from Eley for a shot by Scardina. Turned away by the blocker of Mennigan. Now at the line it is Orr. Fakes the shot, ladles it down low. Pass to the inside for a chance. Gets blocked. Now on the right wing it is Conroy. Spinning out of the coverage from Bardero. Leaves it for Eley. Pass to the left wing. Finds Orr for a shot. Save Mennigan. And he finds a way to haul that one in with 13:05 on the clock.
Yeah, great puck recovery by that fourth line for the Knights. They're able to work the puck up top to Conroy, who goes across to Orr, who takes some space, puts a nice shot on goal there. Really nice work by this fourth line.
And for Harrison Mennigan, this is actually his first game of ECHL action since February 6th. He is under contract with Orlando's NHL affiliate, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he has spent some time in Syracuse this year, which is the reason why he had not played since February. Got reassigned back to Orlando not too long ago, and is now seeing his first action since a 6-3 loss to the Maine Mariners, in which he stopped 12 of 16. And the stats would tell you that Mennigan, at least at the ECHL level, not having the best year, although had a good night here so far. Top 17 of 18. Left circle shot, screeches wide of Mennigan. Another one thrown towards the crease. It's a leg on the way. Scardina from the far wall, pestered by Lucas Savages. Gets some help from Nychuk. Puck drifts to the slot. Only Allen is there, and the Solar Bears will wire it into Atlanta ice. Nychuk on the far wall gets cut off. Puck angled off the end wall. Now along the near side, Scardina digs it out of the skates of Allen. Solar Bears get the puck back in the near corner as Luchuk leaves it for Bird. Caught in a bit of a bind. He ends up turning the puck over. And now Atlanta will look to break out. Nychuk will lead that charge. Meandering his way to the neutral zone and gains center red. Puts it on goal, and Atlanta gets a wholesale change. Orlando trying to take advantage of this, tried to send Bird up the ice, but Conroy, who's having a whale of a game, makes a great defensive play. Keeps Orlando to the outside, and the Knights will exit. Francis takes it, motoring to the neutral zone. Puck is pushed in deep off the end wall, snatched by Schmaggy. Takes a check from Burns in the near corner. The Knights have the puck back. Francis sauces to the left wing for Gaudette. Fakes a shot, passes across, hits the skate of Francis. Diving, keeps the play in the zone, but catching up to it for Orlando is Mike Ladyman. And the Solar Bears will clear. They'll carry it in on the left side. Wilson tries to cut between the circles. Boxed out by Cipollone. Puck will go back out to center. 11:15 left in the second period. Still tied at 1. Fans looking for that second period surge that we've seen time and time again this season. Here on this Friday night of hockey presented by Freddy's. Gladiators strong on the forecheck. Force Orlando to chuck it down the ice. Les will grab it behind his own net. Heave it to the neutral zone. Wants McNamee. Britt ties him up a bit. The Solar Bears lob it back into Atlanta's end of the ice. Possession changing a bit back and forth here in the middle part of the second period. Battle for it between the benches goes Atlanta's way. Les will rip it around the boards to the near corner. Britt reverses to Gill, taking a check from O'Brien. Solar Bears are able to pound it off the far glass and out to the neutral zone, where Nychuk will distribute to Les. Back to Nychuk, up the ice. Sylvester leads Isley in. Pulls up at the far half wall, tries to feather it across, and does. O'Brien to the slot. Right there is Nychuk, blocked in front on the shot. Gill got a piece of it. It's still free. Gill able to skate it to the right wing, scoops it up and sauces it out. That'll be an icing with 9:52 on the clock.
Oh, what an opportunity for Chad Nychuk. Right out front in front of the goal. Tried to get that one to his forehand, just took a little bit too long to do so. Allowed the Solar Bears to get into position and block that one. But a really good opportunity for the Gladiators there. Created by Isley on that entry. Made a great cross-ice pass to Jack O'Brien, who was able to take some space and walk in. Eventually it ends up on the stick of Nychuk. So great job by the rookie in his first pro game there.
Yeah, I really liked what Adam Isley's been able to create offensively in this game for Atlanta. I believe he's going to be one of those key pieces in this Gladiators team making a deep run in these playoffs. Solar Bears win a defensive zone face-off and lob it the length of the ice again. Another icing. Back down we go near Mennigan. And so for Atlanta, we've got Young, Isley, Irie, Nychuk, and Gaudette on the ice right now. And we've seen some plays this season where they win a face-off on this near side. Young will win it to Nychuk, and off the wall he'll return it to Young, and they execute this set play for a chance on goal. I wonder if we might see something like that here. Young will take this against Drevich. Teammates a year ago. Young does win it to the wall. Irie wrapped up a bit. Solar Bears chuck it out to center. Puck will bounce by Nychuk. Gaudette will retrieve, ends up turning it over. Coburn to the goal, and Nychuk saves the day on the back check. Takes it out into Solar Bears ice for a left wing shot. Save made. Mennigan on Isley. Puck trickles back out to center. Isley really been buzzing here the last couple of minutes as Solar Bears look to weave their way in. Plans are foiled at the attacking line. Puck up for grabs in the neutral zone. The Solar Bears will hurl it into the penalty box. No delay of game here. Well, looks like they will. Looks like Allen's going to the box, and it will be delay of game. And the Knights are off to the Eco-Electric power play. We return, all tied up at 1 with 9:04 left in the second. Atlanta with a chance to take the lead.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Atlanta to the Eco-Electric power play for the second time tonight. They will send out the second unit to begin. Cipollone, Les, Burns, Conroy, and McNamee. They did score a goal at 4-on-4 action. They're only of the night. As Conroy off the face-off sets up McNamee on the left wing. He'll drive to the corner, return it to the line. Conroy, pump fake, finds McNamee again. Threaded across, just a shot off a stick and out of play.
Really nice pass there by Mike McNamee. Threw it pretty clogged lane there by the Solar Bears. He's able to sauce that one over to Brendan Less. He gets a pretty good look on goal there, but that one just tipped out of play. Faceoff will stay down in the Solar Bears' end.
The draw will be on the near circle to the left of Mennigan. Second unit remains on. Cipollone against Drevich at the dot. Cipollone's won another. Conroy at the right point. Surfs across the line. Feeds it to his right for Les for a shot. That gets blocked. Les will keep it in the zone. Sling it down to the trapezoid for Cipollone and led over to the left wing, and now the line for Conroy. He'll stare down the netminder, but won't shoot. Steps up McNamee for a drive. That screeches wide of the cage. Now in the near corner, it is Cipollone. Unable to hang on. Solar Bears will clear. 50 seconds gone by on this power play. We get a whistle with 8:14 on the clock.
Yeah, it's going to be a puck played with a high stick on that clear by the Solar Bears. Conroy trying to knock it down, but just got a piece of it with the puck above his shoulders. Now the faceoff is going to come all the way back into the Knights' end by Semptimfelter.
To this point, Semptimfelter has only seen 8 shots in this game. Meanwhile, Mennigan has seen 20. Again, for those of you who were not with us for the pregame show, Orlando, the worst scoring team in the ECHL. They only average about 2.5 goals for per game, and they're the team that is dead last in terms of shots on goal per game as well. Nychuk behind Semptimfelter, gets the lay of the land. Will feed it to the right wing for Isley. As the first unit charges on in. Young delays, wanted Sylvester, but the pass a bit behind. Keeping it in is O'Brien. Skates to the right circle, looks towards the net on his forehand, ladles it to the line for Nychuk. Drifting left, feeding right. O'Brien has it once more. Again, Nychuk, left wing, cutting towards the net, sets it. So Lester for a shot, and that hits a stick and goes out of play. 28 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, good look for the Knights there. Nychuk carries that puck down towards the dot. Sylvester pops back up to about the top of the circle looking for the one-timer. They get the look they wanted, but a good job by the Solar Bears getting in the lane and tipping that one out of play.
Looks like they were trying to set up Cody Sylvester there in the high slot. He does have 5 power play goals this season, looking for his 6th. Did not happen there. Face-off to the right of Mennigan. Solar Bears win the face-off. They'll rotate to the near side. And the clearing attempt gets foiled. Sylvester with a great active stick. Knights fighting for the puck down low, and they've got it. Put to the line for Young. Sweeps it to the left wing for Nychuk. Back to Young. Left point, downhill. Nychuk will go around the net. Set up Sylvester. Right circle across for a shot. Gets blocked, and that play was going to be blown dead anyway as that net behind Mennigan has come off again.
Yeah, looks like that left post having a little bit of trouble staying in its peg there. Bad break for the Gladiators as they were setting up Alex Young for a one-timer there. Good movement by this power play unit.
Looking a lot better than their first attempts, that's for sure. But the question is can they find a way to punch it into the back of the net and make it 3 straight games with a power play goal? Face-off will be to the right of Mennigan once they get things sorted out with this net, although doesn't look too promising right now. Gonna get it back on the moorings and give a couple of shakes. Not too sturdy. But
it'll do.
You know what? It's kind of like the science fair project that you turn in after doing the night before. You work with what you got, and it is what it is. You make do with what you got. Hopefully it holds. Face off to the right of Mennigan. And the Solar Bears have won another. Gill bombards it out to the neutral zone, and out of the box is Allen. So Atlanta 0 for 2 on the Eco Electric power play in this game, and remain tied at 1 with 6:53 and counting on the clock in the second period. Gaudette Moves it to the left wing for a dump in from Irie. Slowed down by Mennigan in the trapezoid. They'll shovel it up the near wall. Solar Bears on a quick breakout. Send Bardero into action. But a great back check from Scardina puts that play to rest. Orlando forced to regroup and reload deep in their own end of the ice. Scardina still on the forecheck, wreaking havoc. Solar Bears turn it over, just trying to waffle it out of their zone, and this might have enough steam for an icing, but ends up not being the case. Grabbed by Conroy. He will look up the ice. Pass to the left wing, hits the stick of Burns, glances to the end wall. Knights send numbers into the near corner. Solar Bears reverse the play to the far side. Cooper knocks it up the wall. Francis closes in on it. Solar Bears are able to pick it up, weave their way through center. Schmaggy shoots from the high slot. Semptenfelter able to reel that one in and take some contact from Bird on making that save. 5:43 on the clock in the second, and we are still tied at 1. Back for more action here on this Friday night, presented by Freddy's after this.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Friday Night Hockey is presented by Freddy's. Spice it up at Freddy's by trying the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich or chicken tenders and the new Molten Chocolate Cake Shake. Check it all out at Freddy's at 2230 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. And the final 2 minutes of the second period are the Freddy's Frozen Minutes. The Gladiators do score a goal in that time frame. Everyone in attendance will receive one free mini custard at Freddy's at 2230 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. Closing in on that, 5:22 left in the second. Solar Bears creep their way out to the neutral zone. Couple of swipes. Puck is turned over between the circles. Nychuk in the near corner has his pocket picked. Bird is there. Nychuk gets it back. Trying to find Gaudette behind that, but the Solar Bears pick it away. Now at the left point, it's Allen for a shot. Block, kick, save by Semptenfelter. And now we get a penalty here. Looks like Gaudette is going to go for slashing as Lombardi lost his stick. And the Solar Bears are off to the power play. And the Knights on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. And I beg your pardon, it's actually Nychuk that is going to go. And so Orlando has its second power play of the night. Face off to the left of Semptenfelter. Bardero will take this draw against Cipollone. And Orlando's won the draw. Gill from the line feeds it to the right wing for Bardero. Takes the return feed and chucks it to his left. Wilson back the other way to the inside off the stick of Luchuk and away from the cage. Solar Bears continue to cycle, although Bardero caught in some trouble as the puck taken away by Cipollone and is cleared. And the Solar Bears think that this should be a delay of game penalty as he lobbed it out of play, and the Gladiators are adamant that hit a stick on the way. And it looks like the verdict is hit something on the way out, and Atlanta is still only down by one man. Far circle face-off. 4:32 left in the second. Solar Bears win the face-off, but the pass to the line leaks out of the zone. They're forced to regroup and come back in. Bardero dances to the left corner, slides it to the line. Wilson across for Gill. They'll operate from the right wing. Now Gill will drift left across the line. Feeds it right circle, takes the return feed and fires. Blocked in front by his own man and Bird, who was trying to screed Semptimphelter. And Atlanta will clear. 1:07 left on the penalty to Nychuk. 4 minutes remain in the second period. Wilson over center circle, leaves it for Bardero. Will gain the attacking line and pull up at the left circle. Centering pass, it's the skate of Wilson. And Atlanta will clear. Almost had a chance up ice short-handed. Wilson diving, able to save that play for Orlando. And they will have the puck. Wilson over the attacking line, brushes it left wing to Luchuk. Kept to the outside by Conroy. Reverse to the far wall. Here is Bardero, centering to Kazi, driving towards the net. Dekes himself out. Semptimphelter scoops up the loose puck with 28 seconds left on the penalty. 3:23 on the clock in the second period. And we are 1 minute and 23 seconds away from the Freddy's frozen minutes and 28 seconds away from Nychuk coming out of the penalty box. Far circle face-off, won by the Knights. Or scoots out to the near side and chucks it off the glass and all the way down for a clear. Orlando taking their time on their next breakout. Denemy aggressive on the forecheck, forces them to make their next move. Makes Britt, skate right down the middle. Pass to the right wing finds Lucas Savages. Below the right circle, tried to center, but hit a stick on the way. Keeps the puck, Nychuk out of the box. It is a successful kill as a bid from the right wing hits a body on the way and ends up going wide to the near corner. So the Bears continue to press, back at 5-on-5. 2:40 left in the second. The game's still tied at 1. Gladiators trying to get a change, almost got caught for too many men, but luck on their side. No call there. McNamee creates a turnover in the neutral zone. 3-on-2. Pass to the left wing. Finds O'Brien. He scores! Jack O'Brien's got a pair, and the Knights take a 2-1 lead.
What a great steal by Mike McNamee in the neutral zone there. Skates it into the zone and makes a perfect pass right onto the stick of O'Brien, who picks his spot for his second of the night.
Jack O'Brien's having himself a night. Great shot from the left circle. Goes upstairs for the score. And Atlanta has taken its first lead of the night. And you're right, Andrew. What a play by Mike McNamee in the neutral zone to set up that play. On-man rush for Atlanta, and they convert. Francis at the red line, dumps the puck in deep. That's the only disappointing thing about that play is it was scored 21 seconds outside of the Freddy's frozen minutes. We'll see if they can add another. 2:03 on the clock. Eddie slides it to the end wall. Conroy gets a stick on it. So the Bears trying to press, but the Knights take it away. It's McNamee again, plugging it off the end wall to Francis. Catches up to it, but Allen on the back check forces him away from taking a shot, and now Orlando able to pick it up and skate out to center. They will pitch it in deep. Atlanta will start the breakout on the stick of Sylvester. Up the ice to Isley. Off the wall, Schmaggy. In the near corner, loses it behind the net. Sylvester and Isley working there. They create a turnover. Les at the right point feeds it to the left. Nychuk dances away from Lucas Savages. Pick and roll to Isley. He shoots, stick breaks, and it's blocked on the way. So the Bears looking to take advantage as Isley heads off. Drop pass. Schmaggy down low around the net for Bardero. Isn't able to tuck it in. Gladiators sweep it out of harm's way. So the Bears continue to press. Sharp angle shot from beneath the right circle is snapped up by Felter with 54.6 on the clock.
Yeah, tough break for Eisley there. Gets a good opportunity with the puck about the top of the circles. Looks to put a shot on goal, and his stick just snaps in his hands, giving Orlando a break the other way. Guy, I'm not sure if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but I don't see Isaac Walter on the bench for the Knights. Took a hard check in the corner to the left of Menegan earlier in the period, and I haven't seen him come back since.
Good eye. We have not seen Isaac Walter for quite some time. We'll keep an eye on the situation as the night goes on. Face off to the left of Felter. Now, we've mentioned this has been a very tight checking game, very physical. These two teams, no love lost, that's for sure. Allen at the left point, over to the right. Cooper backhands it behind the net for Wilson. A lone Orlando goal scorer today. Makes his way to the right point, tries to charge deeper. Ends up taking the better of it, climbs back up to the point, takes a shot, that goes wide, and the rebound angled right to Scardina, waiting on the near circle. Behind the net, he'll sauce it to the neutral zone. Conroy grabs it and feeds it on in. Steers it to the left wing for Cipollone. Off the end wall, chucks it to the line. Nychuk at the right point, stares down the netminder and shoots. That gets blocked by Bird, trying to beat out Nychuk for a rush up the ice, but Chad Nychuk on the back check makes the defensive stand at the buzzer. And the Knights will have a 2-1 lead after 2. Orlando got the scoring started on the power play with 10:56 left in the first with a goal from Luke Wilson. The Knights respond with a pair from Jack O'Brien, his first. With 3:36 left in the first period, and the latest with 2:21 to go in the second, giving the Knights a 2-1 lead after 2. Second period surge yields a goal, and the Knights are rolling heading into the third. We'll take a moment to step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the second intermission report. Andrew and Shelby will break down the first period of play and the second as well. If you look ahead to the third and see if the Knights can close this one out on the first night of Hockey Heritage Weekend. Andrew Fleming, Shelby Rabideau coming up on the other side of the break for the second intermission report.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about the first 2 periods, but first let's check in with our scores. The Atlanta Knights 2 and the Orlando Solar Bears 1. The Atlanta Knights have 21 shots on goal and the Solar Bears have 13. Now, again, not necessarily a second period surge, but we did get a goal.
Yeah, similar situation to the game last night where the second period surge doesn't yield much on the scoreboard, but again, felt like the Gladiators pretty dominant that period, able to put one on the board. A lot of back and forth hockey that period. But yeah, a little similar to last night's game with the Gladiators going into the third period with a 2-1 lead.
Now, I want to ask you here, is there anyone in particular that you saw in this second period that you want to keep an eye on, that you thought that they did a really good job performance-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's got to be Jack O'Brien. Had his second goal of the game in that second period. Just a great play by Mike McNamee on the back check, able to force a turnover there, steal the puck away, and then just a nice 3-on-2 by the Gladiators. They're out there, McNamee, O'Brien, and Francis, due to the injury to Isaac Walter earlier in that period. He took a tough hit over in the corner, next to the Solar Bears net. Haven't seen him since. Very much hope that he's doing all right. But Francis out there with those guys. He drives the middle lane, going straight to the net to back off the Solar Bears defenseman, which opens up the lane for McNamee to go all the way across the ice to O'Brien. Great pass, tape to tape to O'Brien. Takes one quick step, puts it right in the top corner. Great shot by O'Brien for his second of the game to give the Knights a 2-1 lead right at the end of the second period. Just great execution by that line, that makeshift line, throwing Francis out there in the spot of Walter.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be on hat trick watch for the third period for Jack O'Brien, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, he's just been such a great player for the Gladiators Knights tonight since coming over in that trade earlier on in the season. He's really kind of found a role for himself in that center position on this line with McNamee and Walter. Feels like that line's been together for a little while now. They're starting to build some really nice chemistry together, and they're really clicking right now. We've seen them produce goals a couple of games in a row now, and they just add to it with that one from O'Brien at the end of the second.
Yeah, like you said, ever since that trade, it seems like he's just kind of fit in right away with the team, and it's been wonderful to watch here this season so far.
Yeah, that deal has just paid dividends for the Gladiators, bringing in Orzek and O'Brien, two guys who I think have been really good for this team since coming over.
Now, I do want to talk about the keys of the game. So it was energy and compete, dictate the game, and manage the puck. Is there anyone in particular you want to highlight that the Gladiators have done, or sorry, should I say the Knights have done so far today?
You know what? I'll go with that second line of Sylvester, Young, and Isley. I think they've done a lot of good things in those first two periods of this game. Tough break for Isley there on one of their last shifts in that second period. Puck gets cycled to him up top. He's trying to cut across the top of the circle to get a shot on net. And right when he goes to take the shot, had a good look on net, stick just snaps on him. So just a bad break for him, but that line's been really good. I feel like they started clicking a little bit more in that second period. And I'll also touch on this fourth line with Irie, Denemy, and Scardina. I think that line has been really good on the forecheck. Three guys who are really good forecheckers. Denemy and Scardina, we've seen it from them all season. And Irie coming in these last couple of games, making his debut with the Gladiators. He's just kind of added on to what that line does. Really good forechecker, really smart player, all three players. Very smart, good forecheckers, good speed, especially Scardina. He can really fly. Feel like that line's starting to come together. Had a lot of good O-zone time in that period. I thought they really pinned Orlando in. That fourth line in particular, doing a really good job of possessing the puck in the Orlando zone and generating opportunities.
All right, let's talk about the specialty teams. You know, Nychuk was in the penalty box there shortly to the end of the period, and you know, it just proves that the Gladiators are very good defensively, having one of your main penalty killers in the box and still being able to execute the kill in a good way.
Yeah, very good point there. Nychuk in the box, one of the Gladiators' best penalty killers, and they go out there and they kill the penalty without them. Obviously, they did give up that power play goal in the first period to Wilson on just a very nice play by the Solar Bears, but they got back on their horse on that second penalty kill, and they did a really good job. A couple of really nice clears. Talked about a little bit last night, being aggressive when they need to be aggressive, sitting back when they need to sit back. Just very good job by this penalty kill, knowing when they need to go at the puck and knowing when they got to stick a little bit more to their positions and let the play come to them.
Yeah, and they've been phenomenal all season. A little bit back and forth here and there, but overall, the defense on this team has been phenomenal. Now, before we head to the break, I have to ask you a question. Since it is the night, Hockey Heritage, we're honoring the Knights tonight. You know, when I think about Knights, I think about the Renaissance Fair or, festivals, things like that. And if you're not here at Gas South Arena, you didn't see that there was just a joust that took place on the ice. So I want to ask everyone in the YouTube live chat, have you ever seen a joust, or have you gone to the Atlanta Renaissance Fair, or wherever you live, have you ever been to one, and what's your favorite part about them? So we'll be talking about that and what we want to see in that third period when we come back. Once again, the Atlanta Knights 2 and the Orlando Solar Bears 1. We'll see you after the break.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about what we want to see in that third period. But first, before we headed to break, I asked everyone a little question. Since it's Hockey Heritage Night here, we are honoring the Atlanta Knights. I want to know if anyone has seen a joust or if you've gone to any Renaissance fair and what was your favorite part about them. So before we get into that, Andrew, I have to ask you, what are you looking forward to in this third period of hockey?
Yeah, you know what? Going back to the keys to the game that me and Guy talked about before the game from Coach Ginn, the one I really want to focus on is dictate the game. I'd really like to see the Gladiators take just full control of this third period, come into it, get on the forecheck, get out of your zone cleanly, get through the neutral zone clearly, get the puck in deep, gain possession, work it around the O zone. I just really want to see them just grab control of this game, because it feels like it's been a little bit more back and forth than the game was last night. Where last night the Gladiators, I feel like, really controlled the game for most of it. Would like to see them get to that a little bit more in the third period and just really dictate the game in the third.
Yeah, and, you know, that was a new key to the game, I think. That's not one we're normally used to seeing. Yeah,
no, that was a new key to the game, and it's just really what the Gladiators did last night. I feel like Coach Ginn really liked what his team did last night, and you want to see more of that. That's where I really think that dictate the game comes from, because that's exactly what they did last night.
Yeah, and I mean, they always should play with jam.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't necessarily on the keys to the game tonight. I think it might have been last night, but always got to come up with some jam. There was a lot of jam in that first period on both sides.
I think that is just a necessity to every Gladiators game from here on out.
Jam, need it.
Jam.
Got to have it, especially going into the playoffs. You need jam.
And, you know, I had to ask head coach Matt Ginn, I said, what is your definition of jam? And, you know, he talked about the grittiness and, you know, playing with that energy and things like that. So, you know, I just wanted to hear his full definition about it, since we've heard it so much from him this season. But, yeah, so I asked, let's check out the YouTube live chat and see what everyone's saying about the medieval times, the Renaissance fair, things like that.
So real quick, Peach Fuzz coming with, how about Ilya Kovalchuk? Is he being recognized? So tonight is Knights night. Ilya Kovalchuk was a thrasher. That will be tomorrow night, just to
You're one step ahead of
give
us.
an answer to Peach Fuzz there. J-Bug coming with, I love Ren Fair, and we also love Medieval Times. We always have such a blast at both.
And, you know, I've never heard of the Medieval Times until I moved here in Atlanta, and the idea of it seems so fun. I don't know if you know what it is.
You know what? I've never been, if you could.
Oh, of course. I didn't know if you've ever heard of it, because
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a restaurant, right?
It's a restaurant,
okay.
But you also get a little bit of a show. So you kind of have the, you know, the jousting and the tournaments, things like that. And honestly, you know, maybe I'll go there for my birthday this year.
Yeah, you know, it sounds like a lot of fun. No, we had that joust just before the break, and I was a little distracted during the first half of the break. I was watching. We had two Knights on the ice jousting back and forth. I was a little lost. So almost lost my train of thought there before the break at the beginning of intermission, because those two guys were going at that. I guess yes, that was my first joust. I'm honored to see my first joust.
Have you ever been to any of the Renaissance Fair here, or, you know, back where you're from?
I have not, no.
Okay. No, they are so fun. I love going to them. Personally, I'm a person that loves a theme. So the fact that I can go to this and dress up and just, like, you know, it takes you back to, like, a time, like, you know, you're wearing the corset, you're wearing, like, I don't know, there's like pirate night, there's mermaid nights. It's really fun, and the people that you see there, they really take it to a whole nother level. Like, you're eating a turkey, like, straight off the lake.
Ooh,
it's an experience.
Interesting. That's very
interesting. Yeah, and there's like a steampunk night, like where I'm from, but I haven't been since I moved down here, and I really want to go. I've been to Michigan, I've been to the one in Ohio, and honestly, there's so many different, like, art there as well. Like, people are just really amazing at their crafts. Like, I bought a lot of jewelry when I go to the Ren fairs. Like, they have such beautiful rings and things like that, and you can buy like armor there.
Interesting.
If you want a sword, for the next Atlanta Knights
I
game,
might
you
need
can
it.
buy
Yeah.
a sword at the Ren Fair.
Yeah,
And
I believe we had a comment about that.
Yeah.
J-Bug, best part of the Ren Fair are the local artisans and the costumes.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I think the last time I went, I saw someone brought their cat, and they dressed their cat up as a pirate.
Ooh, that's
and you
pretty
know
cool.
what? That was the best part of the whole experience. It's a lot of fun, and I really want to, see how it is here in Atlanta. I've never been to the one here, but I went a lot.
Is it supposed? Have you heard anything about it? It's supposed to be like a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean they're a big deal in most places.
Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
I mean. Have you ever seen those TikToks of there's like a guy at one of the Ren fairs that sells pickles.
Oh,
and
no,
he's
I've not.
I forget what they call him, but it's really funny. I'm gonna start getting that on my feed now. I don't know if any of you have seen this man who sells pickles and puts on this whole show at the Renaissance Fair, but
interesting.
It's really funny. Yeah, people really get into it, and it's more of like if you like theater and things like that. It's one of those places that once in a lifetime you should check it out because the people who go there just really just
it's cool. It's something different. For if it's something like I'm not super into like theater, that kind of thing, but it sounds like a very cool thing to go to.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend. And you know what? Maybe next year when the Glads have another Knights night, they will have another joust, and we can say this we have experience in. We have seen joust before.
We will have joust experience at that point. That was a really good joust between those two guys. We had a really good joust in the first period between Dylan Krabia and Andrew Bruder. So we got jousts during intermission. We got jousts during play. It's been a very fun night here tonight on Knights Night. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
And like you said, they've been playing a bit of a throwback hockey here in the 90s, and maybe we'll see a little bit more of that in this third period.
Yeah. Like to see the physicality get ramped up a little bit there. Kind of tapered off in the second period. Felt like there was a lot more back and forth play between the two teams there. But look to see in this third period, physicality ramp up. Would like to see the Gladiators just really control this third period, get back to the game that they played last night, and just put this one away.
Do you think physicality is the key for them to keep this lead and secure the win tonight?
I think it's to not let the physicality get too crazy.
In the way of the game.
Yeah, because we saw it in that first period where Orlando came out really physical, and then they end up taking a lead. You'd like to see the Gladiators keep them in check a little bit, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Keep them in check. Keep yourselves in check. Don't get too emotional. Don't get too crazy, if there's a big hit or something. You don't want to take any extra penalties like they did in that first period where they ended up down a man and giving up a goal. Would like to see them keep their heads in this third period and walk out of this one with 2 points.
And I'm going to say stay the course, which is usually one of head coach Matt Ginn's keys of the game. So that's exactly what you described right there.
Yep.
So the Gladiators, or should I say the Knights, should stay the course when it comes to this third period. Now it looks like they're about to get out on the ice here. And once again, it is 2 for the Atlanta Knights and 1 for the Orlando Solar Bears. We'll see you after that break.
We're 20, and we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
We are set for the third period here at Gas South Arena. The Atlanta Gladiators are now known as the Atlanta Knights for one night only here on Knights Night, paying tribute to the IHL's Atlanta Knights from back in the mid to late 90s. Weren't around for that long of a time, but did make a lasting impact on Atlanta's hockey history. First night of Hockey Heritage Weekend. Gladiators wearing those specialty jerseys with a white base, black numbers, light blue trim, and of course that Knights crest on the front. Solar Bears wearing black jerseys with white numbers and purple trim will skate from left to right with Atlanta up 2-1 after 2. They had a big second period. Wasn't a multi-goal period, but they took the lead and held Orlando off the board. And Andrew, they have outshot this Solar Bears team 21-13. They have found their groove once again.
Yeah, a little bit of a repeat from last night in that second period. Seems like the Gladiators really starting to take control of this game and look for them to keep it on in this third period and put this one away.
Jack O'Brien has a pair here today. He is on hat trick watch. He's already logged his 4th multi-goal game of the season. Atlanta, when leading after 2 periods this season, is 29-0-1. Orlando, when trailing after 2, is 0-28-2. But for those of you who have been around the business long enough, or at least a fan of hockey, you know that it ain't over until the fat lady sings. And when we say that, we mean the buzzer. Still 20 minutes to go. We'll see if the Knights can close this one out. Orlando wins the opening draw. Lucas Savages chips it in on the near side from the near corner. Denemy helps it to the far wall to Francis, and he will lob it to center, where possession goes back to Orlando. Flung down the left wing, Luchuk disposes of it behind Semptimfelter. Snatched by Conroy, he'll glide out to the neutral zone. With some speed, gets tripped up, and no call there. Pass from low to high, escapes the zone. Denemy could not get there in time, and the clock will stop 31 seconds into the third.
Yeah, Ryan Conroy's been using his legs tonight, doing a really good job skating with the puck from his own end and producing offense for this Gladiators team. We saw it on the first goal where he set up O'Brien, and he's been really using his skating legs all night tonight. Just so strong on his edges, just such an elite skater.
Yeah, Ryan Conroy really has had an excellent game for Atlanta here tonight. He has since gone off on Nychuk and Gaudette. He tries to jolt the puck up the ice, but got caught in a sea of players in the neutral zone. And so now it's Nychuk from the far side, scooting it down to the corner. It's picked up by Allen, sent to the near side, and out to center for Bird. He'll drop it into the near corner. It'll make its way behind the net. Solar Bears move it from low to high. At the right point is Cooper, but unable to keep it in the zone. His team is forced to regroup and reload. Lombardi leaves it for Bird on the right wing. Plugged behind the net in hopes of finding Wilson. Or makes a defensive stand. Stipalone there as well. The Knights lift it out into the neutral zone, and we'll get a partial change as well. We saw in the second period, the Solar Bears had a good start, did have momentum, and spent a lot of time in the Knights zone, but didn't generate any scoring out of it. And as a result, Atlanta will hold that tie for a while and then eventually break it with O'Brien's second with 2:21 left in the second. Now Orlando very much dictating the terms of possession so far here in period 3. Try and come barreling in, but they're stuffed at the line. Now dragging it down the left wing is Adam Isley. Pulls up, looks for reinforcements, has a trailer, it's Conroy. Almost got caught in a sandwich of Solar Bears, so we'll plug it into the far corner. Puck now in the near. Gill slots it up the ice. Didn't find the intended target, and that'll be an icing on Orlando. 2:08 into the third.
Yeah, nice job by Isley grabbing that puck and skating it into the zone. Didn't have anything, curls it back, skates it up top, looking for Conroy there, but as you said, Guy, almost caught him in a sandwich. Conroy just dumps it into the corner, but Isley really using his skating legs early in this third period.
Face off to the left of Mennigan. Cipolone will take the draw against Drevich. Cipolone on with Scardina and Irie, as he did win that face-off, and Irie tried to plug it on net, but play gets blown dead. And we are going to get a do-over on this face-off. Watch out for Conroy and less here. Cipolone wins this draw. That most recent one did go to Irie, who is a left shot forward. Either way, there's 3 weapons waiting back there for a shot. Instead, it's Scardino bulldozing his way into the far corner. Now he put it up high. Conroy, a shot, and it just misses on the far side. Puck will streak through center. Conroy will track it down. He'll swoop out to the left wing, slide it up the ice off the stick of Cipollo, and he'll chase it to the end wall. Behind the net, Cipollo tries to power to the blue paints. Mennigan able to put a stick on it, keeps it out. Now a long bid is reeled in by Mennigan. With 17:20 on the clock in the third.
Yeah, nice job by Nychuk there. Had a lot of space, able to get that shot through from the point. Almost created a rebound for Irie, but Mennigan quick to cover that one before Irie could get a stick on it.
Everybody in attendance loving Knights Night. Looks like our YouTube live chat is loving Knights Night as well. Give us your thoughts and comments on this Hockey Heritage Weekend. Looks like Peach Fuzz 27 has some requests. Let them fly in that live chat. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Now on the right wing, it is Denemy to the trapezoid for Francis. Pinned up along the boards by Cooper. Tries to slip away, but the Solar Bears do keep the puck. Flutter it through center. McMullen tries to drive towards the net, but Gaudette makes a great defensive stand. Able to keep him away from danger, and now possession will change in favor of Atlanta. Francis along the far wall, feathers it inside for Gaudette, now to the left wing for Burns. Over the attacking line, drifts it into the near corner for Denemy. Pinned along the boards, looking for some assistance. Francis in the vicinity, takes a couple whacks at it. Bardero able to hold firm. Solar Bears plug it up the wall, but not out. Burns gets high sticked, and no call there. The Gladiators not happy about that one. Burns takes a run at Bardero as the puck is cycled through the Gladiator zone. Available on the far side boards, handled by Orr. He'll shuttle it to Gaudette behind the net. And his clearing attempt is good. Out at center, Solar Bears have it again. Luchuk creeps over the line and whirls it over to the far boards for Lombardi. Puck is spat to the near wall. Quick shot by Lucas Savages goes wide. Clanks on the stick of Orr. He'll rainbow it to center circle. Young gets a piece of it, trying to send Cipolone up ice, but the Solar Bears hold firm. They still have possession with 15:40 left in the third. Now a right wing shot by Lucas Savages is kicked away by Semtenfelter. Sylvester tried to slingshot a pass to Orr, but that did not connect. There's no Conroy will collect it behind the cage. Maneuvers to O'Brien up the ice. Quick exchange to Sylvester. Puck taken away by Wilson. Orlando will quickly break out. Along the left wing, Britt didn't get a lot of steam on the dump in, and the Knights will direct it in on the near side. Out of the near corner is O'Brien, trying to find Conroy. Clanks off his stick, drifts across the line, trades it off to Isley. Pass across on the money for McNamee, feeds it to the slot, looking for a tip. He got it, and Mennigan able to reel it in as O'Brien lurking there, trying to get that hat trick.
Yeah, really good look there by McNamee. Just kind of floats that little saucer pass into an area where O'Brien could hopefully get a stick on it. He does. But a really good reaction there by Mennigan, reading the tip and making the save there.
5:05 gone by in the third. Face off on the near circle. O'Brien will take this against Drevich. Isley to his left, McNamee to his right, Nychuk and Gaudette, the two blue liners. Ryan now up to 25 goals on the season. Time for the team lead in that department with Alex Young. At the right point, it's Gaudette, moving it to the left for Nychuk. Takes a shot through a screen. Mennigan sees it and snaps it up. Get another whistle here.
Yeah, again, another good job there by Nychuk, getting that shot through from the point. Had a screen out in front, but again, Madigan, nice save, not giving up any rebounds on that shot from the point by Nychuk.
Face off again on the near side. Ryan and Drevich will duel once more. Another win on the dot. Isley high at the line, takes a shot off a stick and out of play. Golkadze gets some wood on it, and another quick whistle. The Gladiators spend some more time in the Orlando zone. But Andrew, it looks like they're starting to really execute on some of these set plays, and it all starts with face-off wins.
Yep. Usually if you can get a face-off win, the centers, the wingers, the forwards, everyone out there knows, all right, if we win the draw, we're doing this. If we lose the draw, this is how we're going to react. So usually every time you line up for a face-off, there's something you want to do right off the draw.
Face-off on the far circle this time. Drevich swapped out, Bardero in, and he wins the draw against O'Brien. Rainbow to the neutral zone by the Solar Bears. Luchuk, drop pass, shot is blocked off the stick of Bardero. Isley eats that one up. Welcome to the show. He really has had a great night in his first professional game. Puck available at center ice as Isley heads off. McNamee lost his stick. Lucas Savage has smacked it out of his hands. No call there as the Knights dump it in. Behind the net is Mennigan to play it. So the Bears trail by 1. 6 minutes gone by in the third. Knights hanging on to a 2-1 lead. Irie from the right point feeds it inside. A little too hot for Scardina to handle. And the Solar Bears will clear to center. Feed it down the middle to Lucas Savages. He's scrubbed off the puck. Les weaves his way to the right wing and finds Scardina. Back across. Les holds to the slot. Irie deflection on goal. Punched away by Mennigan. That line looking real good as they head off. Solar Bears will look to get something going on the other end of the ice. Schmaggy drops it down to the trapezoid. Conroy checked along the end wall. Gets a piece of the puck to knock it to Francis in the far corner. Delayed penalty. Whistle blown now. Looks like Tyler Bird was high-sticked, and they'll call that one. 13-12 left in the third. Conroy to the box. Gladiators on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill when we come back.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Over the course of the season, we've talked so highly of this Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill for Atlanta. It'll be put to the test for the third time today. They're already have surrendered one, but in the clutch moments, they have gotten the job done. They're going to hold on to a 2-1 lead here and get the kill. They do win the defensive zone face-off, but exit attempt is held in by Gill. He has it at the right point. They'll move it to the left. Wilson back to Gill. Over to the right wing for Bardero. He will shoot wide of the mark. And a big collision on the far wall. Mickey Burns absolutely flattens Wilson. Puck makes its way to Semptimphelter. He blows a whistle, but Mickey Burns absolutely levels Wilson in the far corner.
Yeah, you got to get off the tracks when the train's coming. Mickey Burns just absolutely levels Wilson in the corner there.
What a hit, just boom in the corner. Mickey Burns laying down the law. He's going to stay out here with Gaudette, Cipollone, and Nychuk. Face off will be on the far circle. Bardero to duel against Cipollone. And Joey Cipollone has done very well at the dot this season for Atlanta. And contested here. Puck is stripped away by Orlando at the left point. They will set up Wilson, drifting to his right. Finds Luchuk along the near wall. Back to Wilson, left point to the slot, deflected wide by Bardero. He hovers around in front of Felter as the Solar Bears operate from the right wing. Luchuk quickly runs out of real estate. Mickey Burns is there. Pass to the slot, clanks towards the goal. In a flurry, the Knights will clear. A couple of dangerous chances with players lurking in front of Felter. Bird over the attacking line, feeds it to the right wing for Luchuk. And Atlanta foils those plans immediately and mails it back down for a clear. 45 seconds left on the penalty to Conroy. A minor for high sticking. Bardero drops it off of the right point for Bird. Cross-ice pass makes its way to Luchuk. Caught in a bind with O'Brien. He'll just hurl it into the near corner. Bardero takes a swipe at it. Bird as well. Knights punch the puck free, and Eley will clear. Maybe one last gasp here on the power play for Orlando. Down to 10 seconds. They'll deflect the puck in on the far side. Felter out to play it. Shovels it to the near wall. Solar Bears keep it in as Conroy exits the box. The long shot by Britt goes off a stick and out of play in the back of the end zone behind Felter. Clock will stop with 11:09 left in the third.
Yeah, really good kill there for the Knights. Doing a really good job of keeping everything to the outside, being aggressive when they need to be aggressive. And then when they needed a save from Felter, they got it. The Solar Bears able to set up Bird right out front on the doorstep. He's able to get a stick on it, tip it on goal, but a really big save by Felter, getting the saves when they need them.
So face off on the near circle now. Forwards for Atlanta, Cipollone, Sylvester, and Young. Gondet and Nychuk are the two defensemen. Revich and Cipollone at the dot again. From the near circle, Sylvester spins out to center, threads it across for Young. Back inside, wanted Cipollone, but Gladiators are offside with 11:02 left in the third. Face off in front of the Orlando bench. Cipollone, Drevich. We do it again. Seen a lot of these two at the face-off circle here tonight. And this time, Cipollone gets the job done. Long launch of a shot from neutral ice. Absorbed like a sponge by Mennigan. He will freeze with 10:54 on the clock.
Yeah, looks like Coach again playing around with his lines a little bit. He's gone back to that Cipollone, Young, Sylvester line that we saw last night. That was so good together.
And it's curious, Andrew, to me, to see the Gladiators doing this because it almost feels like with a playoff spot locked up, trying to experiment around with some of these new guys to find out where they fit best. In a game like this, they do have the lead. They do have the luxury of being able to move guys around as they've done all season long. I think they're looking for that perfect combo that really hit that stride as the season comes to its conclusion. Solar Bears with it in their own zone. Knights will press. Aggressive forecheck here. Young will chase Schmacke behind his own net. Forces him to roll out to the left wing. Puck bounces to the line, but is held in the zone. Young drifts, tries to pass it to the slot. Shot is fanned on, and Lucas Savages will whip it through center. Puck is dropped in by Kodsey. He'll head off for a change. 10:25 left in the third period. Here is Gaudet. He'll leave it for Nychuk, who glides to the left wing. Outlet pass to Sylvester. He gets mobbed in front of the scorer's table. Puck is taken away. Orlando trying to bulldoze their way up ice, but Atlanta having none of it. They'll come in on the right side. Isley shoots. Oh, rocket just misses on the near side. Here is O'Brien in the near corner, trying to spin out of coverage from Cooper. Puck is taken away by Cobran. He'll skate over the red line and pop it over Gladiator blue. Puck to the end wall. Conroy has it. Quickly running out of room. Spins away from McMullen. Has some steam. Barreling down the right wing. Drops it off at the point for Isley. Cross-ice feed. It's a stick and goes out of play into the third row on the near side with 9:32 left in the third. The Knights have a 2-1 lead over the Solar Bears. Look to add to it and extend their lead when we come back to Gas South Arena.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Zivil Performance and Recovery is the official recovery partner of the Atlanta Gladiators. With cryotherapy, infrared sauna, red light compression, float and oxygen therapy, Zivil helps reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and boost energy. Train hard, recover smarter, and perform like a Gladiator every day. Here is Conroy at the left point taking a shot. Save made by Menigan. Rebound into the near corner. Francis trying to dig his way off the wall. Pinned up there and taken down. Shoved to the ice by Cooper. Gladiators palms in the air wanting a call, and they do not have it. Bird over the attacking line. Feathers it to the far side. Burns gets a stick on it. Knock it out to center. Solar Bears wired it around the boards to the far side. Bardero down low. Pass is intercepted by Les. Sent to the neutral zone for Francis. Overskates a bit, and a bad line change is going to lead to a penalty on Atlanta. They get caught for too many, and Orlando is going back to the power play.
Yeah, that's just a bad miscommunication by the Gladiators bench. Francis overskates that puck in the neutral zone. Now he's going to go serve the too many men. But just a bad penalty for the Gladiators to take, trying to protect a 1-goal lead midway through this third period.
And that is a penalty that is going to drive Matt Ginn and Zach Vanel absolutely bonkers. The bench minor served by Francis. Too many men on the ice. It's on a platter for Orlando to tie this game on a penalty that could have been avoided. 2-1 the score in favor of Atlanta. Orlando on the power play. Knights to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. So here is Orlando cycling in deep. It is Bird from the far corner, launching it to the point. Now on the right wing, it's Bardero with a shot. Bird in front of the net, wanting a tip. Got it, but it went wide. And now the Knights are able to clear, with already 25 seconds gone by on this kill. Orlando punches it off the end wall. Semptimphelter able to poke it into the far corner. Great read there. And the Knights will clear again. Looked like Orlando was trying to angle that off the end wall to the slot, and Semptimphelter saw it. They made the right play there. Go over the attacking line. Floats it into the far corner. Pass across, finds Bird for a shot. Blocked by Conroy. He'll go behind the net. Bird has the rebound on his forehand. Swings it to the left wing for Bardero. Hits his skate and goes back to Bird. Caught in a bind. The Knights shake him down. And skating it out of his own zone is Les for another Atlanta clear. So now just 48 seconds left on the too many men minor. 7:26 on the clock in the third. Lucas Savages from the right wing pulls up, tries to drop it off for Lombardi. Pinballs to Kodzi, spinning at the right circle. Penalty is drawn. Clock stops. 7:17 left in the third, and it looks like going to be a 5-on-3 power play for Orlando for 34 seconds with Gaudette going to the box for hooking.
Yep, they got Gaudette for a hook. Man got by him a little quickly. Gaudette trying to keep up with him, gets his stick around his waist, pulls him back a little bit. Referee's got him for hooking. 5-on-3 for Orlando.
Now this Gladiators penalty kill really going to be put to the test here. 5-on-3 for Orlando for 34 seconds.
A little surprised Orlando not taking their timeout here. Big turning point in this game with this 5-on-3. You would think they'd take a timeout, try and settle things down, draw up what they want to see.
Face off on the near circle. Cipollone wins it. Nychuk tries to bang it out of play, but Bardero keeps it in the near corner. Sets up Bird, right circle. Sauce to the line. Nychuk without his stick. Sprawls out in the slot, trying to break up a pass. Solar Bears to the outside for now. From the high slot, Britt downhill. Back up top to the right circle. Wilson holds to the slot. Fanning on a shot is Britt. Shaking him down is Cipollone. It's less. Nychuk and Cipollone on the ice. Nychuk without his stick. Driving towards the net is Bird. Septemfelter forces him away. Knights trying to clear. Puck to the line. Held in by Britt for a shot that goes wide. Rebound to Bardero. He'll swoop out from behind the net and put it to the far wall. Now at the right point, it is Wilson. To the right circle for Britt. Looking across. Nothing there. Drifting, finding Luchuk. He'll swing it right wing for Bardero. He shoots. The save by Septemfelter. The rebound blocked by Francis. Knights can't clear. First penalty expires. 5-on-4 now for Orlando. Bird at the right point. Just whips it to the right circle for Bardero. Back across for a shot. That goes wide off the stick of Wilson. Free clear for the Knights as momentum carries it out to center. Down to 33 seconds left on the penalty to Gaudette. At the right point, it is Wilson. Led across to Gill. Has some separation from Irie. Pulls up in the corner, sets up a shot. Deflected wide off the stick of Luchuk. He will head to the bench as Wilson threads it across. Lombardi a drive and hits a stick and goes wide. 8 seconds left on the penalty. Lucas Savages from the near corner to the goal for Kadzi, and Septemfelter takes away the angle, and the Knights have done the job. They killed off a 5-on-3 kill. Lucas Savages spits it to the slot, intercepted by O'Brien. Knights trying to clear. Orlando continues to press. 5-on-5 action here. Check in the near corner, draws a penalty, and Orlando's going to go. Lucas Savages got O'Brien. Those two jousting after the whistle.
I believe it's Conroy down in the corner after taking that hit from behind.
He is on one knee right now.
Just dangerous hit on a vulnerable player.
Hopefully Ryan Conroy is going to be all right. Watching the mayhem go on in front of the Gladiators' crease. And the culprit, Jared Lucas Savages, going to head off to the box. And the Knights are on the power play when we return with 4:57 left in the third.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Before we left and went to break, Ryan Conroy, Gladiators defenseman, was checked on a hit that he could not avoid. Defensive player, checked by Jared Lucas Savage's nasty hit in the near corner of the Gladiators zone. Conroy definitely leaking some blood there, and Lucas Savage's night is done. He has been sent down to the Orlando tunnel, and this is likely going to be a match penalty that would set Atlanta up on the power play for the remainder of the game. No official call made yet, but the indication is with Lucas Savage's leaving the game, we are likely headed that way.
Yeah, just a dangerous, dangerous hit. Conroy's got his back turned to Lucas Savage's, facing the boards, and Lucas Savage's just clearly hits him, boards him from behind. Obviously, Conroy goes face first into the boards. Obviously, his face is bloodied. There's blood on the ice that the ice crew's working hard to scrape up so he can get back to going here. But just a dangerous, dangerous check. There's no need for that.
And so out comes the Broad Street infamous Whiskey Ice crew. And they're going hard at work in that near corner, which is our blind spot. So for the time being, when that play first happened, we couldn't really tell how bloodied Ryan Conroy was until he got up. And then during the break, you and I both noticed, hey, there's a lot of red on the ice there. That should not happen, and so Lucas Savage's has been sent away, and now we just await the time to go up on the board.
They're digging in that corner.
Yeah, they're still chopping away down there. But you know, we've seen some really great play out of Ryan Conroy this season, and he is as tough as they come. I mean, back in the Adirondack series, or maybe it was a week or so before, he absolutely ate a puck. He took it to the face, had to leave the game, and ended up finishing it. Made the game-sealing play, pinned the puck against the corner, leaked the time off the clock, and won the game for the Gladiators. Here he is. He's still on the Gladiators bench. Getting a bit of a tune-up from Nick Nelson, the athletic trainer, but looks like he's going to stay.
Yeah, they're just going to have to do a little bit of laundry on those towels he's working with right now.
And that speaks volumes to the kind of player that Ryan Conroy is, really the kind of person, one of those great characters in the locker room for the Gladiators. That's one of the reasons why he has the A on his sweater as an alternate captain. You knew he wasn't going to leave this one, right?
No way.
Seems like nothing can take that guy down. So it is a 5-minute match penalty to Jared Lucas Savage's, and with 4:57 left in regulation, this penalty, this time, is going to last for the duration of regulation. So for the Solar Bears, their mountain to a comeback is just that, a mountain. They're going to be down a man for the rest of regulation. So the Knights to the power play. And they are still without Isaac Walter, who has not returned to the game. And I have not seen Dylan Carabia since the fight as well. Young from the left circle, looks and scores! In a hurry, Alex Young shoves it into the back of the net. It's a 3-1 lead for the Knights.
Perfect shot there by Alex Young, grabs it on the left dot, walks in a little bit with the screen out in front, and he picks his spot, glove side, to extend this lead to 2.
And here's a power play goal for Alex Young. Just a missile from the left circle. I think it might have been screened by his own guy. Britt kind of eclipsed him.
That looks like Isley was out in front there too.
Doing a bit of a flyby. And the Knights have made it a 3-1 game, the largest lead on either side tonight. And they remain on the power play because of the match penalty. Again, this will last for the duration of regulation. As O'Brien has it at the left point. Pulls up, moves to the circle. Finds Nychuk. Return feed to O'Brien. Left circle shot over the goal, and momentum carries the puck out to center. Goal scored 15-18 into the third period on the power play from Young. Assists go to Nychuk and O'Brien, who now has a 3-point night. He's factored in on every single Knights goal. 2 goals and 1 assist for O'Brien. And Alex Young has now separated himself from O'Brien, who at one point in this game had tied Young for the team leading goals at 25. Young now has his 26th. Puck out of play on the last sequence, so it'll be a neutral zone face-off in front of the Solar Bears bench. Grevich to take it against Cipollone. We've seen that one plenty of times before, and for most of them, Cipollone has been the victor. This no different. McNamee hard around to the right wing for Cipollone. In the near corner, kicking at it is Cooper. Cipollone soccers it himself up to the right point for Conroy. Threaded across to the left wing for McNamee. Waiting at the wall, creeps to the net. Spins away, didn't like what he saw, and ladles it to the line. Conroy to McNamee. He will shoot. That goes wide. The rebound swept wide off the stick of Les. Return to McNamee at the left point. He'll quarterback things here. Led back to the line for Conroy, who feathers it across to Les. From the right wing, back up top. Conroy, left circle, back across for Les, and he could not keep it in the zone. Puck glanced off his stick and went out to center. Conroy will go and wait behind Semptimfelter. Clock now down to 3 minutes in regulation. Sylvester in the near corner. Trying to sauce it to the line. Nychuk had vacated that area. Skates it back in his own zone. Time very much on the Knights side now. Up by 2 on the power play for the rest of regulation. They pretty much do whatever they please when it comes to starting their next breakout. Not in any kind of hurry here. Sylvester over the red line. Leaves it for Nychuk. He'll carry it across the attacking line. Pump it to the right wing for Young. Turns towards the net. Feathers left wing for O'Brien. Catches up to it in the near corner, but the puck is taken away by Allen. And mailed down for a clear. Conroy from the left wing. Looks up the ice. Finds O'Brien. Left for McNamee. Now on the left wing it is Burns. Right circle shot. Off iron and it stays out. O'Brien looking for the hat trick. Conroy to the left wing for McNamee. From the circle, put down low. Cipollone across. And O'Brien has his shot blocked. Once again denying him the hat trick. Looks like they're trying to set him up for it as he puts another one wide of the cage. 1:23 left in the third. Burns off the end wall. Solar Bears will clear. Semptimfelter has it. And he will just leave it for Nychuk. Sylvester into Solar Bear ice. Drop pass from Les. Has Young at the right point. Return to Les at the half wall. Float it to the left wing. Nychuk with space. Feeds it to the slot, but it hit a leg on the way. Spurts up to the left point. Kept in by Young. Return to Nychuk. He drops it down low. Isley scans. Threads it across. Did not find the intended target. Knights scoop it to the line. 36 seconds left. Les from the left wing. Looks towards the net. Doesn't fire that way. Instead, hangs on. Feeds it off the end wall to Isley. From the trapezoid, ankles to the right wing. Young to Nychuk. From the left wing to Les. His stick breaks on the one-timer. He'll head off to get a new one. Now it is Sylvester from the left circle. Put to the line for Nychuk. 8 seconds left. Right wing Young. Pulls away. Has Les at the left point. 3 seconds left. And it is nighttime at Gas South Arena. The Atlanta Knights are back with a win. They defeat the Orlando Solar Bears by the final score of 3-1. Jack O'Brien with a 3-point game, has 2 goals and an assist in the victory. Also has the game-winning goal. Knights score 3 goals, 3 different ways. First on a 4-on-4, second 5-on-5, and the last on the power play. The insurance marker to give them the win by the same score that they had on Thursday night. This time under a different name. The Atlanta Knights return with a win. And Gas South Arena might not be Omni Coliseum, but those two buildings do share one thing in common, and that is a Knights win. For those of you watching this broadcast on Peachtree Sports Network, thank you for watching this edition of Friday Night Hockey presented by Freddy's. Make sure you stop by Freddy's at 2230 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard for cook-to-order steak burgers and fresh frozen custard. For Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau, I'm Guy Chiarenza, thanking you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. Final score, Atlanta 3 and Orlando 1. Hope to see you back again next time. Good night and so long. And we'll keep it rolling here on Flow Hockey and YouTube. The after party begins at Gas South Arena. And we await the 3 stars of the game. The Knights win 3-1 over the Solar Bears on the first night of Hockey Heritage Weekends. And I think we can start calling them the Gladiators again. The buzzer has gone final. And interestingly enough, they have not yet lost in a specialty jersey this season, and we've worn a lot of them. We're now 9-0 in specialty jerseys this year. Something about it. Here are the 3 stars of the game from Knights Night. Mike McNamee is your 3rd star of the game. Had an assist on the game-winning goal from Jack O'Brien with 2:21 left in the second period. Your 2nd star of the night. Boy, is this guy the definition of a gladiator. Ryan Conroy. What a night he had. Offensively, defensively. The first goal of the game set up Jack O'Brien for the score. Somehow squeezed his way along the end wall out of double coverage. Right across the slot for the score. Gritty game for Conroy. He is your 2nd star. And your 1st star of the game with a 3-point night. Jack O'Brien, the knight in shining armor, 2 goals and 1 assist. He is your 1st star of the game. He is downstairs with Miss Emma Harp. We will tap into this interview as the Knights are victorious.
Great job, Emma. And those were the Pinnacle Promotions 3 stars of the game.
And so it is a 3-1 win for the Atlanta Knights / Gladiators, who will now become the Atlanta Thrashers for Thrashers Night tomorrow night. Make sure you get your tickets at atlantagladiators.com. They are flying fast. A bit of a nostalgia trip this weekend, but the one thing that remained consistent across the years was a win, and that is exactly what this team did here today. It was very similar to what we saw on Thursday night, Andrew, with Gladiators out shooting the Solar Bears 31-20. Final score 3-1. Mixing a power play goal there. A lot of the themes are the same, but the one difference in this game was the physicality.
Yep.
Just a gritty game from start to finish.
This game really started off in that first period with a lot of physicality, and then in the second and third, it felt like the Gladiators kind of were able to get back more to their game. Orlando came into this game wanting to play a real physical game, try and impose their will on the Gladiators, and they did for a little bit in that first period. Obviously, Orlando being able to get out to that 1-0 lead. But then from there, the Gladiators, the Knights, they got back to their game in the second and third period, and it felt like kind of a repeat of last night where they were really just able to control the game for those last 2 periods.
TJ Semptimphelter stops 19 of 20 for his 20th win of the season. Now joins Ethan Hyder in the 20-plus win club this season. And for Mennigan, he does have a good night. After a season where really things haven't gone his way at this level, he does end up stopping 28 of 31. Bit of a goaltending duel here tonight, Andrew. What did you like out of the Gladiators netminder when he was called upon here today?
Yeah, just exactly that. When he was called upon, he came up with the big saves. Not many grade A opportunities for Orlando, not many difficult saves for Semptimphelter tonight, but when he had to make the save, he made the save. He spotted Orlando 1 in that first period on the power play. It was just a perfect shot there by Wilson on Orlando to give them the lead. But from there, Semptimphelter was just absolutely rock solid from then on. Had a couple of big stops on some power plays for Orlando. One I remember in particular was Bird camped out in front. They center it to him from the corner. He gets a tip on it from his backhand. Semptimphelter reads the pass to the tip the entire way, and he makes the save. So just as you said, he made the saves when he needed to, and that's really what we've said about these Gladiators goaltenders all season is they come in, they make the big saves when you need them, and they always seem to keep their teams in games.
Oftentimes we talk about special teams being a bit of a bonus for these Gladiators teams. They've really done a good job of winning games 5-on-5, but there comes a certain point in time where you need to be able to get the job done when it comes to special teams. Gladiators go 1 for 3 on the power play here tonight, and they go 4 for 5 on the penalty kill, but really it might have been that penalty kill that was the MVP of the game at the end because the Solar Bears were really gifted a 5-on-3 power play for an extended period of time, and this team just went into full lockdown mode. They got the job done.
Yeah, huge props to that 5-on-3 penalty kill. Special shout out to Brendan Less. Couple of plays that he made out front, he saved a goal. This game could have been tied up right there on that 5-on-3. But Brendan Less, just such a smart player in the right position, using his stick to block passes, block shots, really breaking up a couple of plays for Orlando out front. He saved a goal or two on that penalty kill. So just a really special penalty kill for the Knights towards the end of that third period. And then they were able to put another one in on the power play later.
And those jerseys that the Gladiators were wearing as the Knights will be up for auction in a few minutes. So for those of you who are still lingering around listening to the broadcast on YouTube or maybe even watching on Flow, make your way to the concourse area down by the main entrance and make your bid because those jerseys were sweet. It was great. It was awesome to see. And, for someone like me who is not from here, to see something like this, to see the fans come out for a night where we celebrate Atlanta's rich hockey history, it's awesome to me to really see that support because, from someone who's not here, you wouldn't expect a town like this to have such a rich hockey history. And, we learned a lot here tonight about the Atlanta Knights, and I'm excited to do the same tomorrow night as the Atlanta Thrashers.
Yeah, what I really love tonight is usually during the national anthem, we'll get a couple of people yelling the Knights when it's said during the anthem. But tonight, it was the loudest I've heard it all year, and it was awesome to see for Knights Night, everyone getting into it, especially for the anthem. So, yeah, as you said, it's just great to celebrate the hockey history in this city. They haven't had a lot of it, but when it's been here, it's been special, and this Gladiators team is just special. They fit right in with those groups.
They have now boosted their record to 41-19-2-1. Now with 85 points, we will turn our attention to the out-of-town scoreboard to check in on the South Carolina Stingrays and see if the Gladiators now do have possession of the second seed in the division. Coming into the night, they did have a game in hand on South Carolina. They have won that game for now, and so we'll see if it ends up being the difference. As it looks like right now, that game over in Boise is currently at the top of the second period with the Idaho Steelheads and the South Carolina Stingrays tied scoreless after one at Idaho Central Arena. So for those of you with Flow Hockey looking to tune into the nightcap, there you go. There is your second part of the doubleheader. You will root for a Stingrays loss and a Steelheads win. That would give the Gladiators sole possession of second place in the division, as we are now 9 games away from the conclusion of the regular season. Other scores from around the division It looks like the Florida Everblades going to take care of the Savannah Ghost Pirates, who are on a serious slide. Savannah going to fall behind and drop under 500. They're going to fall to 29-33-1 as they're down 5-2 with under 3 minutes left to play in the third period. Over in Estero, and it looks like that is the only other game in the division that has gone final. The only one that is still alive is the Steelhead Stingrays game. So Florida continues to win. They will keep their gap from first place to second, but that fourth seed in the division is going to get interesting with the way the Ghost Pirates have played recently, Andrew. They are on a serious slide, and that has opened the door wide open for our opponent tomorrow night. The Jacksonville Icemen, they have somehow found a way to scrape things together, and they are looking hot. We saw them last week. And Jacksonville is going to come in hungry tomorrow night on Thrashers Night to try and pick up a critical 2 points in the playoff race.
Yeah, the way we've seen Jacksonville recently, that's not a team that I want to see in the playoffs. Jacksonville recently, we've talked about it ad nauseum, just all the additions they've made on that team. It's just a completely different team from the team that we've seen for most of this season. They've been a lot of fun to watch, the Jacksonville Icemen, and that's a team that I don't want to see in the playoffs come playoff time. That's going to be a tough out if Jacksonville gets in.
Savannah's going to lose 4 games in a row. They're still stuck at 62 points. They've played now 63 games. Jacksonville idle tonight. Just a 4-point gap from being in the playoff picture to out of it. Now Jacksonville is a game in hand. And they have played this Gladiators team very, very well this season. We'll see if these Gladiators can take some of the juice from the Thrashers back in the day, inject it into Gas South Arena tomorrow night, and get a big-time win against a Jacksonville team that I don't even know if we can call that a trap game anymore. Nope. This is a good Iceman team, and they are going to come out with a purpose, and I'm excited to see it. We will have it all for you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:50. Puck drop is at 7:10. Watch it on Flow Hockey and YouTube, and we hope to see you there. Again, it is Thrashers Night here at Gas South Arena. If you've not gotten your tickets already, head on over to AtlantaGladiators.com and do so, as it's going to be a thrilling night as the Gladiators transform into the Thrashers. Look to pick up a big win against a surging Jacksonville team. That'll do it for our coverage here today. For Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau, I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long. Thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. And make sure you stop by Freddy's on your way out at 2230 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard for cooked-to-order steak burgers and fresh frozen custard. Thank you for watching this edition of Friday Night Hockey presented by Freddy's. The Atlanta Knights come back with a win. They take down the Orlando Solar Bears by the final score